So get this right for a change.
It's clobbering time.
Let's try this again. Sorry, everyone. StreamYard's just really. Never mind.
Clobber on 'em.
Oh my goodness.
Clobberonimo.
I think I'm on. I can't tell with StreamYards, folks. We now we're here. I gotta always start out with a bad mood because of StreamYards every freaking time. But good to see you all.
In that mood. We're here to party.
Oh, I'm here. My friends are here, so the bad mood will subside soon. I know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Clobbering Time.
Hi there.
Welcome. I can't. Someone's in a good mood at least. Don't worry, my bad mood will subside. It just takes work to get my bad mood out of here. I promise you. I'm good at getting rid of bad moods. It just takes me a while. And I was in actually a decent mood until StreamYard started pissing me off. But I'll be there. Sorry. No, it happens. I'm good at getting my bad moods out of here. But hello, my friends. It's welcome to Clobbering Times issue number 501, 1,201 overall. And Saturday Star Trek. Saturday Star Trek 101, by the way. All kinds of numbers.
101
of Saturday Night Star Trek. And more importantly, a whole bunch of fantastic friends are here with us tonight, just
Captain,
piling into the chat.
do you have M&Ms handy
No,
in your captain's chair?
no M&Ms. I wish.
That's what's wrong.
No, I have an alternate kind of candy that I'll probably just sneak every now and then, so I have some
You
candy.
have to do it.
Yeah.
Do
No,
it!
I was fine. I was absolutely fine until StreamYard started aggravating me, so I'm okay. I'm okay. But you're right. You and Zathras are right. I always need M&Ms. I've never none. Plus, my chair's got me kind of a bad mood too, but I'm going to try to ignore that.
Well, before we do anything, before we absolutely do anything, it's imperative that I interrupt, even though it's very rude. And I'm just going to apologize because I don't know what's going on with Eric K. I just know that he said that he's in a lot of pain.
Oh no.
And Eric K is our friend in real life. I love this person. He is important to us. He's important to our community, to all of my group of friends. So Eric's not feeling well. Eric, I love you so much. And I'm extremely upset to hear you put in print, I'm in pain. That is very upsetting. And I'm just going to let the boss know now that the Great Wrench of the North, the other guy that I love very much, Chris Persia, has told on Eric K. Eric K, if you go to the starred tab, a boss, I put a post in there where Chris Persia details that Eric K is gifting memberships. I don't know how long Eric K is going to be here tonight. And when he says he's in pain, he's serious. And so he may not stay. So I just want to get that done. And I know it's rude, but I have to do that because I love him and I don't want him to leave without knowing that we all love him very much. We're all sending him soft hugs, and those who pray are sending prayers, and those who don't are sending soft hugs, warm wishes, and all of our love and support.
Chris Persia, thank you so much for that, buddy. He says, and there goes the most generous wrench in the fellowship, Eric K, gifting another 5 channel memberships. So thank you so much, Eric. Thank you, buddy. And whatever is happening, whatever's going on with you, my friend, I hope you get better immediately. We're real sorry to hear about that, buddy. We love you, man. And just like I say, if you're hanging tonight for a while, or if you're running, going to rest, I hope you feel better soon, buddy. Whatever has gone on, and I hope things are getting normal back out there, because I know you guys have been just beleaguered with horrible weather out in your part of the world, and so sorry, man. The weather, all that, now the weather, huh? So sorry.
Biblical weather events and a very serious medical issue. Please don't probe him for information, folks. He shared all that he wants to.
No, that's fine.
And that's it. But I love you, honey. I love you very, very much. And I just want you to go lie down and rest, and we'll be here. And I hope you ate well today. I hope you made yourself a beautiful meal, or somebody made you a beautiful meal, because I know you love beautiful food. I love you, honey. We'll talk to you later. Mwah.
Yes, sir. Be well, buddy. And I wish it was something I could do, but the offer's there. If there's anything I can do for you, please let us know. We'll start our shout outs after we just a couple of quick show notes. Hopefully tomorrow night, the great Mark D with the C will have the Sunday Night Geekery at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as he always does. I should be hanging out with him over there. And this Monday night is a big Monday Night Mark C double feature, 2 shows like with the great J-Man, my great buddy J-Man, and I on at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll have a special visit to Earth B for Bob Haney. It'll be a Wacky World of Bob Haney presentation, a Clobby's Classic Comics review, Brave and the Bold number 100. And J-Man and I always have a fantastic time bringing you the wackiest comics ever written. And it'll be a lot of fun. Then later at my traditional 9 p.m. Central slot, I'll be there hanging with you. And I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'll be doing, but I'll be doing something that'll involve comics, of course. And then, of course, the rest of regularly scheduled shows throughout the week, but we'll handle that later. Let's say our shout outs now. First of all, I do want to shout out our great wrenches. Of course, it goes without saying the great Eric K. But it's never going to go without saying around here.
Mhm.
Big shout out to the great Eric K. And again, Bronze Wrencher, feel better, buddy.
Yeah.
We're here for you. And the great Vindicator Wrench of the North, Chris Persia is here, buddy.
Sweetheart of a man,
thank you.
wonderful gentleman. Thank you for the wonderful show poster, for just being a part of this whole production, being here to support the whole crew, the community, this channel, just everything you do. You're such a selfless person, and I love your art. I love the way you promote our show. You are such a great friend to us, and we appreciate you very much. Love you, honey. Mwah.
Appreciate you, buddy. And even the ones we're going to shout out the rest of the wrenches, even the ones who are not here yet, of course, who are here not just the Saturday night show, they're here for every other
That's
show
right.
when they can be. Not always, no one can be everyone always, but we see them all the time, and they help so much with stuff. The superstar wrenches here, D. Bud Martin.
Yeah. Who is always
Buddy,
promoting my
great buddy.
work, always promoting indie authors, always promoting everyone that he knows and that he loves. The great D. Bud Martin, math teacher, mathlete, heck of a guy. We love you, D. Bud.
Wrench of Iron, of course, the great Lord Thoth, and hail to Lady Thoth as well.
Yay!
Avon lives, long live the Legion.
And Chief of Security.
Chief of Security for Saturday Night Star Trek. Our Clubboni master and official artist of not only Clobberin Times overall, but also official artist for the cover of the wonderful book Science Fiction Tales by R.M. Briggs. And seek it out. Links in the description below, of course. The great J-Man. I don't know if J-Man's here tonight, but gets the shout out either way. He's a great friend and does shows with me, and he's their channel's a great friend of the show itself. So appreciate that. And of course, the Super Wrench. Stephen M, the great Kal-El, we appreciate you, buddy. And Maddie's daddy.
Yay! Thor in Vegas!
Wielder of the Uru the wrench, of course, the Thor of Vegas, and that crazy old Feds outsider. Yes, indeed. And I noticed that Apollonie's Minions here tonight, so shout out to you and
the pepperoni. The pepperoni.
And so I hope you are all doing well. Let's see if anyone else popped in so I can get them. We'll start our shout outs here. Because I like to get everybody written down, okay. There we go. All right. Make sure so we're ready for our shout outs now, because this is important to us, because we appreciate y'all for being here so much.
We do. We do.
And it looks like you are going to be on the show this week.
I am. So I have a couple of announcements to make for myself. One is that about 20 of you approached me, especially the people who run my fan page on Facebook. I'm actually not on Facebook, but people who are affiliated with my fan page over there, there's about 600 or 700 people over there. They have been consistently asking me to open a Patreon account. I've opened a Patreon account, and there is never before a released material on my Patreon account. And my news stories will be featured there. So you can just join to support. You can join to get the book. Or you can just, have, I went against what Patreon says you're supposed to do. And I just did like a little 99-cent a month account. I think they want you to start at like something like $6 or something. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. But if you feel like supporting my work, you could meet me over on Patreon. There's some cool stuff on there, including a locally famous director reading one of the rough drafts of one of my stories. It's never been released before. And I would appreciate it if you would all buy my book and share it with folks. And I'm also going to be on King Dolphin TV, and that will be on Wednesday. at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And Hungry Boy is going to be there with me. He's going to talk about the process of painting, the painting that wound up being the cover for my book. And Raymond's going to interview me about my stories and about authorship. And we're going to have a really nice little visit. So that's all that I have going on. And I just want to say, I love you all very much. Thank you so much for supporting me as an indie author. It's not been easy. I write nonpartisan science fiction, classic science fiction, and publishing houses really aren't interested in it. So the fact that you are all interested in it and that you're supporting me means everything to me. You are the engine and the wheels. You're the whole car here in going on this journey. And I love you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And everyone, remember to watch that on King Dolphin TV, Wednesday night. There's, of course, the link out there that Raymond put in there. And, of course, there's a link to his channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Thank you. First shout out for the super sticker to the great Cardinal Sin. Hey, Cardi. Good to see you there, buddy. Thank you for the $9.99 super sticker. You were too kind, as always. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Now for our shout outs to begin. Let's see who else we got. Stuart Mitchell.
Yay! Dolly had braces.
Indeedishness. The aforementioned Raymond Feliciano.
Hello,
Shooter.
Raymond.
Indeed, Shooter.
Pew, 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 pew.
Hey, J-Man. Good to see you, everybody.
J-Man.
Of course, we shouted you out already. And I can't wait for Monday night, buddy. Looking forward to it. Sandra is also here.
Hello, Sandra.
Sandra Feliciano. Classic Comics. What's up, CC?
Hello, CC.
Max Redstone, the great Limerick Master.
Maximum Redstone.
Hey there, Snail Messiah.
Snail Messiah, tonight, honey, I'm going to ask you to cover your ears when somebody orders something and it's not a good thing. It happens in Quark's bar, but when I say, Snail Messiah, cover your ears. The horror.
I don't even understand any of that. Oh my goodness.
You will when it happens.
Kal-El, buddy. Oh, sorry, we started him out with the wrenches there. I forgot.
Kal-El, actually, it's kind of cool that you shouted him out again, because he said, Raquel, what's the name of your Patreon page? It's RM Briggs. So it's just like my author name. You guys all know my real name because you guys are my friends, but I'm just using my author name over there. So it's RM and then Briggs. Thank you.
Indeed. Zathras.
Crap.
Yes, indeed. As he says, Babylon 5 is better. Mr. Angel, what's up, Chef? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you and your illustrious nurse crew is doing well. And by the way, I want a big shout out to all of our lurkers out there. Thank you, those who lurk or listen as a podcast, as Raquel puts it. And also, thank you to anyone who's listening on a download or a rewatch or whatever it is called. We do appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. The Catman, aka Dee Dee Myers, has popped in here.
Hey, Dee Dee, nice to see you. And please give your wife a little smooch on her cheek for me, please.
Sean Carter, what's up, my friend? That's good to see. I don't know if we met you in here before, but we appreciate you.
Cool last name. Indeed. Sean Carter, John Carter. They're going to Mars.
Yeah. Indeed. Let's see here. Okay, sorry. Cardinal, again, shout out the aforementioned Cardinal Sin. I just had it written down.
Cardi!
Thank you so much, Cardi. Gil, good to see you, buddy. Wolfie's here. Well, Sean says he's new. Sean, welcome and live long and prosper. We're glad to have you here at Saturday Night Star Trek.
Hey, did you just put up be seeing you? Sean Carter, you know the prisoner. I'm liking you already. Be seeing you.
Let's see. Look, where we at? Oh, Terrell. Hey, Terrell, buddy. Good to see you.
Tyrell. That means that Tyrell is at work. Please be safe at work. Thank you for listening to us at work. And I hope we put on a fantastic show for you. Once again, be safe at work. We love you very much. And we'll see you at the end of the show.
Indeed. Michael Beacom, and hopefully the lovely Cassandra. Good to see you there, my friend.
Beacons!
Yes, Beacom's the Comic Relief Crusader. Hey, let's see.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
What?
I'm going to go quiet for 1 second because everybody's asking me a question and I'm just going to go and deal with it right now. Okay, boss?
At home, you mean? Okay, yeah, I'll handle it. Gotcha. Let's see here. JT Kirk. And I know JT Kirk, you reported it was a massacre, but now the Jags have pulled close after that disastrous first half. I'm watching it too, of course. I've been watching playoffs all day. And it'd be something that they would come back. But that's just too much. That horrible. Who knows? It's a different time. Picasso, hey there. Welcome, Picasso. Victor Fontaine, welcome. Good to see you there. Ghost Rider, hello there. How you doing? Hey, Mindy and Jimmy. Trauma Warriors, I should say. I always say that wrong, Wendy. I'm sorry. But it's good to see you, Wendy and Jimmy. Thank you for being here. And I think that may cover everybody. I think I got everybody.
All right.
So far. Throughout, as we move on with our show tonight, we will acknowledge anyone that we can, anyone who shows up. The great Mark D with the C is here. There you go.
Mark
Our chief
D
engineer is
with
here.
the C.
Yeah, buddy. Good to see you, dude. Okay, well, look, we'll get on. Let's get on the stick here. We're on the clock, folks. So, for those who do not, those that know,
tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight.
okay. I was waiting till you're done. I wanted to wait till you were done.
No, don't. Just don't.
You're in a good look. I'm just glad you're in a good mood. Oh, thank you, Cardinal Senator. Thank you, dude, for 999 super chats. Hail Pamela and hail chat. Well, hail Cardinal Sen. What's up, dude? Good to see you, Gil. So for those who do not know, because you never know, we have new people, either like our new friend Sean.
That's right.
Or people out there who might pick us up on a download or a rewatch, or who might be lurking. For those who do not know, just over 2 years ago, last week, I guess, we embarked upon a journey. We left Space Dock and said, out there, that away, out into the unknowns. And that is, of course, the unknowns. They weren't unknown. We know them very well. We know our Star Trek very well. On a voyage, on a mission to review all of real Star Trek. That, of course, means 1966 to 2005, the only Star Trek that is legitimate, because nothing after that with the title of Star Trek on it is actually legitimate Star Trek that is true Star Trek. So, Roddenberry Star Trek, and then even after the aftermath of those that was bequeathed to others, before it was destroyed after 2005. But anyway,
with poo.
With poop.
That's why we call it the filth.
So what we did was we reviewed we reviewed the original series,
yes,
the animated series,
yes,
the original crew films,
yes,
the Next Generation,
yes,
and now we are smack dab in the middle of season 4 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Needless to say, we got a long way to go, right? Number one.
We do. We're just a little over halfway through. And did we shout out, while I was putting up that URL, did we shout out two of my favorite peeps? I think they just walked through the door. I want to say hello to Zacharat and JT Kirk.
Well, I did shout out JT, but I did not know Zacharat was here. I must have missed him somehow.
Zacharat.
Hey, Zacharat.
That's right, the Comic Relief Crusader. Everything after 2005 is poo trek.
Poo trek. It's not. It doesn't even deserve the word trek in it. So.
Yeah, that's right. It's poo trek.
So what we do here is we do 4 episodes a week while we're in the midst of a season, and we have 4 episodes tonight. My wonderful first officer, R.M. Briggs, will read a synopsis. She'll give us just a bit of a breakdown of the episode in question. And then we will comment on it a little bit. We will rate it. And then I will ask our wonderful chat to give a rating and any words that they may have. And I will read their hopefully shorter reviews than usual because we have so many people. Just hint, hint. Just kidding, Chad. Do what you gotta do. So that's that. Now I will turn it over to my most wonderful first officer in the fleet, Commander R.M. Briggs. Take the helm and tell us what we got for tonight.
Okay, boss. Well, first, let's make a big disclaimer. So, I'm from publishing and from writing. I'm an academic, and we have a vetted text for this show. And if the boss wants to put that up for the visual, it's written by Terry J. Erdman, and the co-writer is Paula M. Block. If ever you can get a Star Trek book written by Paula M. Block, buy it. Buy it. Just buy it. Don't question. Just take my money, buy it, because she only uses original source material. A lot of this stuff that you're going to discover on the internet, the crap on IMDb, the crap on Memory Alpha, which has been polluted by the filth people. It's all like a collection of factoids and rumors and BS from people's memoirs. And it's just a big load of poop. So we don't use any of that stuff because it just takes you down a path of untruth. And so here we're more academic. This is a text that you can trust. If you're looking to research Star Trek Deep Space Nine, you need look no further than Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion, written by Terry J. Erdman and Paula M. Block. The trouble with this book is that unlike Paula's books, Paula M. Block makes the most delicious, beautiful, amazing Star Trek books. Terry talks for quite a while about the episodes, for a couple of full pages, like a full 8.5 by 11 pages. And so we can't read what he says on air. It just doesn't work. So it's not conducive to the environment that we're using these books in. So while we leave that disclaimer at the beginning of the show, you need to know that we are just reading the little plot synopsis from Wikipedia. We don't recommend Wikipedia. We don't consider Wikipedia a true source. It's user-generated material as well, but we just use the plot. And if they screw up on it, we call it out immediately and we correct it. We complain quite a lot about it, but it's the only way to facilitate the show. So there you are armed. You are armed. And now you know what we're going to do. And so we read a little bit about that. Then the boss and I get together and talk about the episodes, what we thought about them, because he and I have both been watching Star Trek for over 45 years. And then, of course, we put it to the chat. And that's that. Boss,
well,
should we get started?
Just a second. Let me address something because our new friend Ghost Rider asked or says the Cisco is my favorite and the best captain. Well, we don't agree there. My favorite is Kirk by far, but that's okay. I like Cisco. It's cool. No big argument. Are you going to review P Hard season 3? RMB likes it and he hates the bad Ruby track. I love RMB. I'm not, but I don't trust him on this one. I trust him on a lot of things and usually on Trek, but he's got a friend this is co-runner that runs the show, so I just don't even go there. I'll tell you this, so we won't review it necessarily. I will subject myself to it like I did the first 2 horrible seasons, and then I will comment on it on another show, not this one. I mean, on my show, on my channel, like on a different night, but not on Saturday Night Star Trek, because what does that have to do with Star Trek? It's not Star Trek. And anyway,
that's right.
Michael
We're just
Beacon,
66 to 2005 here.
Yeah,
and I just want to welcome to the chat Billy Go Boom.
Who?
Yeah, that's his name. Billy Go Boom.
Is another newcomer?
Yes. We have another newcomer. Welcome to the chat. Settle in. Have a great time. You are amongst some of the finest geeks, nerds, and dorks on the internet. They are practically all experts on real Star Trek. You are going to have such a good time here. Billy Go Boom!
Welcome, Billy Go Boom. And we have a couple of super chats. We'll get those out of the way. Thank you so much, Michael Beacon, for the $5 super chat. He says, they need Raquel at NASA, 10-987-654-321. Whee! Rocket Skyward. Yes, they do. Who doesn't? And Sean Carter says, thank you, Sean, for that. Appreciate you. He says, now hear this. Mark your calendar. Start date 3/22/23 is National Talk Like Wim Shatner Day. It should be 3/22. That's his birthday. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there. That's also my son's birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, well, again, thank you so much for that. And
Admiral Teague.
Admiral Teague is here. Thank you so much for that, Sean. Appreciate you, and Michael. But hello there,
Admiral.
Admiral Teague. So appreciate you all for being here tonight. So our first episode of the evening is Return to Grace. Is that right?
It is. And the
Alrighty.
bosses put up the visual for this. He makes these wonderful show posters that offer little snippets that offer, information about the episode. And this episode, like the boss said, is Return to Grace. This is season 4, episode 14. And all over the world, this is an international show. And DS9 is infamous for having these one-part episodes, but 2-part episodes, 3-part episodes, and even 4-part episodes. And so they get busted up differently by different streaming services. So it's very important for me to mention that this is prod code 486. So if you're following along in the Erdman block text, it is prod code 486. And we all watched this for the very first time on February 5th, 1996. And now I'm going to stay copyright compliant by mentioning that I will be reading the plot as provided by the fine folks at Wikipedia. Sometimes the writing sucks. I'm going to be reading it extemporaneously. That means a total cold read. I have not read this before. And whenever I mention that, it's important for me to let everyone know here that this is an entirely organic show. No one here discusses the material. No one here, says, oh, this is a good episode, that's a bad episode. Clobby and I don't meet. The captain and I don't meet to discuss the episodes, and no one in the club does either, the 735 Club. We do it here organically. So sometimes the reading's rough. Sometimes the writing's not so good. So let's give her.
All right. First of all, just real quickly, I want to say some thank yous to, because thank you to Mark D with the C. I can't see, for those folks, I can see super chats, but I never see member chats or anything like that. So I want to say thank you, Snail Messiah, member for 4 months at the Clobberer level. Oh, look, been a member 4 months. Yay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shooter, been a member for 5 months from the Clobberonimo level. Yes! Thank you, Shooter. He says 5 months down the rabbit hole and no looking back. Oh, well, you're too kind, Shooter. I appreciate you. And the Comic Book Crusaders, member for 3 months at the Clobberonimo level. Best ST talk on YouTube. Feel bad I never finished DS9. Well, thank you, Comic Book Crusader. That's very nice, everybody. Thank you for saying that. Man. And really appreciate it. And Max Redstone, I got your emails. Thank you so much, buddy. And you will definitely, they will definitely be heard. So let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, here's the plot. Let's hope it doesn't suck. Major Kira is shocked to find out that Dukat will be captaining the freighter transporting her to a conference regarding the Klingon threat. Dukat was recently demoted when it became publicly known that he has a half-Bajoran daughter, and he now works in a dreary job flying an unremarkable trading ship. When they arrive to find the conference site obliterated and a Klingon bird of prey warship leaving the area, not even bothering to attack what it considered a lowly freighter, Kira suggested that they adapt the planet's weapons for use by the freighter, effectively turning it into a Q ship. And then they head after the bird of prey. They soon find it. And after tricking the bird of prey into thinking they are carrying valuable cargo, use their new weaponry to cripple the Klingon vessel. After commandeering the bird of prey and transporting the Klingons to the freighter, Dukat mercilessly destroys the freighter. Dukat notifies his superiors and of his capture of the Klingon ship, hoping to regain some respect and spur the Cardassians into fighting the Klingons. They offer him his old job back, but order him to make no further offensive actions against the Klingons. Disgusted, Dukat vows to fight the whole Klingon Empire himself if he has to. He offers Kira a place on his new crew, saying her experience as a resistance fighter would be valuable. She declines, taking Zial, Dukat's daughter, back to Deep Space Nine with her until Dukat's personal war is over. So that kind of sucked, but I mean, it's at least it provides a rough outline. I'm going to throw it over to the boss now. Boss, Captain, my captain, mon capitaine. Please tell me, what did you think of Return to Grace?
Well, first I want to welcome the great Captain Infinity and beyond. Good to see you there, buddy. And I want to thank Cardinal Sin for the $4.99 super chat. He says, I think Kira Nerys is hot and Anna Visitor is still smoking hot. Well, you probably wouldn't get a lot of pushback on that one, buddy.
Yeah.
Can't disagree with you.
Especially from Hungry Boy.
Yeah, especially from Hungry Boy. But yeah, can't disagree with you there, sir. This is well, how do I put it? We've talked about how this show is not really something that's all that science fiction all the time, really, other than being in a science fiction setting. The show's Raison d'Etre is intrigue and drama and character and stuff. So as far as character drama goes, it's a fairly well done episode, pretty well written and stuff. Again, is it my cup of tea per se? No. You know why I generally want my Star Trek to be. However, if you watch the show, that's what you get. That's what the show is. And so I think it's a fairly well written character interaction episode. Very, very solid in that respect. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. We can go right into notes, really.
Okay, so if you're new here, I've been watching Star Trek for a little over 45 years. And so I thought to myself, what can I add that's organic to the show that doesn't interfere with the organic nature of it? So, entering a conversation like you would at a con to just shoot the breeze about Star Trek. So then I thought, okay, I'm going to take some notes while I'm watching the episodes. And so I take a pencil and a piece of paper and I actually write notes. Pretty old school and very very anti-technology, but it works. So here are my notes. Dukat is still pining for Kira. It's out in the open now. It's no longer subtle. Dukat is completely emasculated in front of his crush. This is more relationship stuff. Kira sure has a full dance card. First, we have Bareil, the priest who she was Lego head necking with. He's dead. Then now we have Shakar, Odo, and Dukat. This is too much. This week, who's most in love with Kira? Join us this week as we discover who's most in love with Kira. Right now, it's 3 men. The Love Boat. Anyway.
Hard to blame them, though.
Yeah. Prop malfunction. When Kira shows Zial the weapon, the autonomous recharge door doesn't close or lock. And it flaps open in the demo. And it's quite sad because it flaps open right when she says that it's gyro stabilized. So I always laugh when that happens. Dukat's overtures are trying. So he becomes ridiculous. Like he's like, oh, you know what I mean? Ew. Like, go away. Like I've had dogs hump my leg that were more subtle than Dukat. Mark Alamo is an outstanding villain. I just love this actor. I think he's marvelous.
Yes.
He's super intense. I don't really like it when they make him sort of, in love with Kira and he's like, oh, please be with me, please. I like it when he goes off and acts a little insane about how he's going to take on the whole Klingon Empire, because I think he's a marvelous actor. And I think that he's an outstanding villain, probably one of the best television villains out there.
Yeah.
And then we have Zial going to DS9. But it's really about Kira and everyone who has a crush on her. So that's really the story here. If you were going to explain this episode to aliens, you would just say, this is the episode where you massage who's in love with Kira. And so it's kind of annoying. And as you all know, I don't really like romance in my science fiction. As a matter of fact, I hate it. It's not a good thing for me. I don't enjoy it. So, yeah. And that's all I have in my notes.
Well, yes. I mean, there's not really a romance episode, though. But he definitely has the hots for it. There's no question about it. But that's what I'm saying. If there had been a lot of romantic encounter, I wouldn't have been really that into it either. I don't think it's one of the greater episodes or anything like that. But in fact, I guess I don't know. I'm with you. Seeing him chase her gets a little bit that
Just let
does
him
get
be a villain.
tiresome.
He's such a good villain.
Right. But I don't think I've seen it more obvious in other episodes than in this one, to be honest. This one, he's kind of down and out. He has had a fall from grace. And she comes along and boom, hands him a Klingon ship. And I thought some of that was more interesting character stuff than any of the him wanting her to him. I don't know. But overall, it's not really particularly compelling stuff for me personally, because it's not. We've talked about it, I know, in ad infinitum at this point, but yeah, it's not what I really sign up for with Star Trek. But I felt some of the stuff with him again, because Lamo's so terrific, Kira's great. Some of the stuff that I found to be at least entertaining enough, but certainly not an episode I really have a whole lot of time for, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, like it's just this is not what makes good science fiction. Good science fiction is the main story can't be, that Ducat's, crestfallen because he can't get Kira. It's so annoying. And yeah. And Captain Infinity is asking, where is Hungry Boy? Everybody's asking where Hungry Boy is.
I don't know.
I heard from him about 8 hours ago. He might be sleeping. Remember, he lives in Australia. And I want you all to know, too, that although he has said that my painting that he did for my book was his last large piece, he is still, an artist who works all the time. And when the muses speak to him, he gets to work. So he could have pulled an all-nighter. I will check in with him, and I will give an update on my Twitter. But fear not, I spoke to him just a few hours ago, and he's forever working. I mean, he is the life of the artist, right?
He is a great artist, and we'll miss him, but again, I guess ED probably couldn't be here either, I suppose, Shooter. Sorry, we miss both of them very much, though.
Our friends in Oz, we miss them.
Yes. But we hope they'll stop by and say hi if they can. But not, we certainly understand life gets in the way sometimes. We're here for them when they can be here. Mm-hmm. So, what is we'll make quick work of this one, and so we make some time. What is your rating of Return to Grace?
Okay, so I love Mark Alamo. I think that, like
great.
I said earlier, he's an outstanding villain. If we just take Mark Alamo and we put him in this role and everything else falls away, then I think it's a decent episode. So because of Mark Alamo, I'm going to give it a C-. But this is actually a D- episode, but C-. This is not science fiction. It's not enjoyable. It's not science fantasy. It's not character building or anything else. Nothing is going on here except for it's just another man being added to Kira's dance card, and I'm tired of it. I don't care who Kira's sleeping with, and I don't want to hear Ducat complaining that she's having, she's knocking boots, she's bumping uglies with Shakar for half the episode. That's not what I like in my science fiction. So. And that's it.
Oh my God! All right. Well, hey, Simply Steve.
Simply Steve.
Good to see you. All right, I haven't seen you in a while there. Good to see you, my friend. I'm gonna go with a C. I reserve my lower ratings for something that really, to get lower than a C- or a D, you gotta piss me off. And this doesn't piss me off. I just think it was sort of there. I mean, it's just it happens and then it's over. One of those types of things. I hate to say that, but I'm getting that way about a lot of these filler or drum. I mean, this is another groundwork episode because things that are set in place in this episode are going to have effect on future episodes. But that said, it's not really that memorable personally, and at least she's not into him though. I mean, it's not like she's trying to get all these guys after her. She's just, lovely. So guys, she's very alluring. Let's face it. So I can see guys falling in love with her, but she's only interested in one, and they keep coming after her. It's not her fault.
Yeah, but it's so 16 Candles. You know what I mean? It's right. Like she loves the popular guy, and Ducat is, he wants to be with her, but she's bumping uglies with the popular guy.
Keely Chow, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
So, no, I got you. Let's get out of this episode and do as fast as we can.
Yes,
All right,
please.
everybody, my dear friends. Now I will ask you to give us any rating you may have of A Return to Grace, and any words you may have about the episodes. And while you're doing that, I will put my wonderful first officer on starring duty while I bring us some Max Redstone Limerick entertainment. For those who do not know, our great friend Max Redstone is a master of all this limerick, and he has taken the trouble to kindly write a limerick for each of tonight's 4 episodes. And here's our first one. Are we ready? Okay. All right, everybody. Return to Grace by Max Redstone. Gul Dukat had a daughter that he did disavow. Now he commands a Cardassian scow. He gets into melee, captures a Klingon bird of prey, and goes back to acting holier than thou. That is top-notch stuff, as always. Max Redstone, thank you so much, my friend. Good
And
stuff.
everyone knows that I go radio silent when I am starring all of your stuff because, we get like 40 replies and I don't want you guys
Fine.
listening to all those clicks. But since the boss is distracted, I need to announce that Anti-Derivative Jill, our communications
Hey,
officer,
Jill.
is here. Hello, my fellow nerd.
Hey,
Hello,
Jill.
fellow INTJ. Good to see you. And
Good to see you.
to your left, guess who's here? Tim's Talk.
Hey, Tim's Talk on your
And
left.
now I'm going silent again.
Okay. All right, Tim's Talk, buddy. I hope you're doing well, everyone. Please subscribe to Tim Talk's channel and, of course, Jill's channel, for that matter, which is, of course, I have links in my description below. I believe I have to Jill's channel there. Jill, put your channel link if feel free to, please. All right, let's see here. All right, let's start with our reviews. Kal-El says a B+. This episode did a good job of showing some character growth and development for both Gul Dukat, and Major Kira. It was interesting to see, with Kira's background, how much more grounded. Hang on. She was given the situation they found themselves in, as opposed to Dukat's idealized version of the events occurring during the episode and the interactions between the two characters. Hang on, I got to find this next one. Wow, must be way down here. Well, hang on there. Cal, oh, there's your third one. Gotcha. Reflected this. Sorry, it takes me a while to find them sometimes, folks. Kira's attempt to adhere strictly to professionalism, as well as her regard for Dukat's daughter, showed that she put the welfare of others first, whereas Dukat's fantasizing. Hang on. About his return to grace revealed his narcissism for all to see. However, Dukat does show some growth as well, acquiescing to Kira's suggestions and even looking to her to help at key moments, as well as his agreeing to Kira's suggestion to keep Sial out of the life he has chosen by fighting the Klingons. A good episode overall, which further progresses the narrative. Well, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Now, let's see who's next. Let me backtrack here. Go to our next one. Sorry about that. Everyone takes a bit to find all these. Okay. Mr. Angel. Chef says B-. Liked this one. Pretty good story. Not too much days of our lives, days of our DS9 lives drama. Dukat getting ruthless is kind of awesome. Dukat's secret crush is a megalomaniac, comical as usual. Yes, indeed, sir. Thank you so much. The Catman, aka D.D. Myers, says, Clobby, I give it a D+ for did have a few funny parts. I'll give you just for laughs. Okay, well, that's fair enough.
All right.
Thank you so much. Raymond Feliciano of King Dolphin TV. Raymond says, an intriguing look at guerrilla war and Ducat Kira were well played. Okie dokie. Thank you, Raymond. Zathras says B-. The best part of the episode is the first episode of Damar. Yeah, the first appearance of Damar. Yeah, I will use remainder of time to say Babylon 5 is better than DS9. You're not getting an argument out of me. Now that I am this far into the rewatch, I've been thinking about that a lot. I'm not even kidding you. I haven't seen them before, but now I'm watching it, and then for analysis sake. Anyway, the great, our wonderful chief of communications, Antiderivative Jill says B-. Ducat exhibits a more cooperative disposition because he's lost his power. On the same token, he is being punished for choosing family, which is ironic because that is a valued Kardashian trait. Oh, yes, a good point. Another thing, Zathras, about that is, even though it is better than DS9, I will say DS9 has a far better Ducat than B5 does. I'm sure you'll agree with that.
And Shooter was talking about this earlier, so I'm just going to bring it up again because I saw it and I totally agree with him that the Wikipedia was talking about the same sort of thing. And that's exactly why Ducat was, exiled, is because he was cheating on his wife. And so, that's highly frowned upon in Cardassian society. So, what do you do? Like, apparently, how many kids does Ducat have otherwise? I think it's 5, isn't it? So he's got 5 kids and he's married. And then he gets out on this outpost and starts bumping uglies with a Bajoran lady and then is aware that he has the child and doesn't tell her. So I don't know what happens in Cardassian society, whether his wife left him or what happened, but that was not cool what he did there. And I think he has like 5 or 6 kids. I would need to look it up to confirm and look at the character Bible, but I'm pretty sure it's 5 or 6 kids. That's a big family to be going and having an extramarital affair.
Indeed. The Comic Relief Crusader says C-. Odo and Ducat. Take a hint. Odo and Ducat. Take a hint. We look for things that make us go, pack-led captain, Grid McDog, enough said. Okay. I hear you. Thank you so much, the Comic Relief Crusader. I'll have to think about that one for a minute there. JT Kirk says 8 Cardi captains cut of the Hall out of 10. Cut of the Hall out of 10. Okay. The Cardi captains, the artistry that went into the panels on the Cardi ship are incredibly detailed. In the days before LCD screens, these were a labor of love and beautiful. Oh, he's got another one. Hang on a second. JT. It shows that you say you have other. Well, wait on there. It's a bit too much crush of the week on Kira.
Right?
I also groan when Ducat seemingly goes from leader of a planetary occupation to a ship's captain to an advisor and back again.
It is. It does. It's Simply Steve and Captain Infinity. Captain Infinity, I love you guys.
They like that, huh?
They do.
Michael,
They're the best.
Michael says D-. Wow. Ducat drooling after Kira again. Ew.
Yeah.
Several TNG Voyager Enterprise eps have made my gorge rise, but the first time I felt like I needed to shower after watching.
Yeah, he gets creepy here. Michael's right.
Page 307. He means of the Deep Space Nine companion. This was considered a sequel to Indiscretion. Hans Beimler admits it's based on Jews and Nazis post WW3. Okay. Oh yeah, that's okay. You again. Page 308. Ira Bear says he likens Ducat to Sitting Bull, who when. Hang on.
What?
Wow.
Ira Stephen Bear is so weird.
He is weird. Refusing to sign a peace treaty, said he was the quote unquote last Indian because all the others gave in. And who in the writers' room had the hots for non-visitor?
Yeah.
Ducat, Odo, Quark, Jake,
Jake?
Shakir, Mariel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake as well. Pretty much, yeah. But I hear you, and they should not let it get to their writing. But I can see how. I mean, it's tough to blame anybody for actually having that. But yeah.
Like what the comic relief crusader is yelling as you're reading this, crush of the week has got to go.
Yeah, the crush of the week. Yeah. No, look, I'm not saying this is a good thing to do it on the show. I'm not saying I can understand having a crush on Kira, although I'm more into Dax, to be honest. Is that bad? Sorry, Hungry Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like Dax a little better. Is that wrong?
No. There's nothing wrong
I love
with that.
that.
I think Dax is much. Yeah.
I think she's more. Yeah, but just
Hot.
me again. I love Not a Visitor. She's fantastic. But Terry Farrell
is a 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. Bashir and the holodeck and Cisco in the Mirror Universe have all wanted to get it on with her. Yeah, that's true. Seriously, guys, could you try copying Heinlein for a change and not Jackie Collins? Thank you. Well, right? So said the great Michael Beacom, blasting it as always.
Yeah. And Fanti went and checked the Bible, the character Bible, and I was right. Ducat has 6 kids with his Cardassian wife. Thank you, Fanti. Sorry, boss.
Indeed. No problem. It's all right, not okay, but all right, says Picasso. Thank you, Picasso. Appreciate that. So it's all right, but it's not okay. I mean, it's but not okay.
Welcome, Dyrus or Dearest.
Hey, Dearest.
Hello.
Yes, good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here, and I really, really appreciate you all. The great Vindicator Range of the North, Chris Persia says, D for Ducat. What's not to love? Oh, right, the addition of yet another prospective partner for Kira's male harem. There is a word for this type of writing, filler. That's a good point. I mean, it's not like she was interested in him, though.
Welcome, Larry.
Hey, Larry. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Boss. But no, I'm just saying, it's not really like it's Kira's fault either. They're all falling in love with him. But yeah, it's the writers, idiots. Mm-hmm. But I mean, dudes are gonna dude. Snail Messiah says, I think the writers live out their Nana-visitor fantasies and longings through the romances.
Right?
They write and make it behind and mask it behind her not being interested, thus leaving her available in the writer's mind. You know something, dude? You may be onto something.
Yep.
So you may be onto something, buddy.
Yep.
Shooter says B-. First up, why has the Federation shared weapons technology? Maybe there's some deal with the Klingons, but Bajor has been hardly stable, and they haven't joined the Federation yet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. The introduction of Damar might need to keep an eye on him, because he's good. Like a lot of characters in Deep Space Nine, they start out with nothing and then they change, and he does. So, yeah, if you see this episode for the first time, you don't even know his name, really, hardly. Why was there a Federation phase rifle on a Cardassian freighter? I like the scene, but it doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
And the prop failure doesn't help, because when she's doing the demo and the prop fails, you're like, oh man, why didn't they reshoot that scene?
Good part. This episode has a lot of good things. Ducat being Ducat, with Kira guiding him on fighting from a significantly weaker position, adapting the Class 5 disruptor, and taking the bird of prey. Let's see. Breen mentioned again in this episode with their homeworld described as bitterly cold. May need to make a note of that. Yes. Well, thank you, Shooter, for that review. And of course, Simply Steve says, "Return to Grace is a disgrace." Well, there you go. Well said. Thank you. Indeedishness.
Short and
Wolfie.
sweet.
Wolfie says, rating B-. Great Ducat episode. First appearance of Damar. Holy crap. How big is Ducat's captain's chair in that freighter? Nice close-ups of the bird of prey.
Yeah.
That ship will never get old.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
And the old paintings, like the decal on the outside of it.
Oh yeah. I like the design of the freighter. I don't think it's the first time we see it, but it's a good design. Ice cube trays make great cargo containers when painted correctly on starships. It's a fair call.
Fanti, yeah, Nana Visitor was with Alexander Siddig, and I believe they had twins. I'm not sure if they were together at this point, but I don't think that they would put that in anything but their memoir, and I'm not really interested. I will tell you one little piece of trivia, though, that Siddig is actually the nephew of Malcolm McDowell. It's Malcolm McDowell's sister's son. And he has, Alexander Siddig actually has he has North African names, and he's inherited them all. And I believe there are between 16 and 18 names that he has, and he just shortened it to Alexander Siddig. But yes, he and Nana Visitor were together, and they had one child, one pregnancy, but I think it resulted in twins. You would have to look that up, though. Thank you for the question, Fanti.
Thank you, Fanti. Cardinal Sin for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you again, sir. Appreciate you. Very kind of you. He said, "Would you guys consider doing two Babylon 5?" I think he means doing Babylon 5. Mm-hmm. What you've been doing? Oh, doing the Babylon 5. What you've been doing to Star Trek in the future? Consider it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Consider it considered, sir. Yes.
Absolutely, we would.
And that's not flippant. I love Babylon 5. So,
yeah, so do I.
Let's see here. Let's get this rolling here. Fanti says, C. It was a placeholder, spinning the wheels until they get back to the Dominion. It's odd that Ducat was with Kira's mom, and now, he's spoiling, isn't he? Yeah, Doggily pursues her stalker much. We generally try not to do spoiler stuff here, Fanti. But I shouldn't have read that. But too late now. It's in the review.
Yeah.
Also, how bad is Klingon Warrior? Dude, because some people haven't watched it yet. But that's my fault for reading that. I should have caught it.
Yep.
Training. Taken out by a freighter. I don't think, there you go. Taken out by a freighter. I don't think any of those Klingons will inspire songs or be allowed in Stovacor. They did get their butts kicked. Yeah, they did.
Maybe we could give them the Mok Tovar. Let's find their siblings and be like, look, you got beamed off your own bop. If you got beamed off your own bop, you deserve the Mok Tovar.
Indeedishness. D+. Wow, says Max Redstone. I know we need to see Ducat taken down a peg for continuity, since his braggadocio is always set to 100%. So Ducat being out of his element is amusing to watch. I don't think it means is amusing to watch. Okay. Mm-hmm. Where Kira and later Cisco are involved, I think he has a brag boner. He needs to be validated. Kira and Cisco are the two people he finds most titillating for this purpose. Marco Lamo is brilliant at playing Ducat, and when the writers focus on a Ducat story, it is really excellent. In this episode, the extras really bad things down. Wow. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Max Redstone, for that. And our final review is they're backwards. Weird. From the great Mark D with the C. B+. Really like the space battles and the retrofitting of the freighter to use the planetary defense system. 5 disruptors, yay, engineers. Relationship between Xiao and Ducat is handled well. Despite his villainy, he has a more human, quote, side, sacrificing his career to be with his daughter. He is also willing to let his daughter go to protect her. Totally, there was an awkward shift about halfway through the episode in how Kira treats Ducat. It was off-putting and didn't jibe with how she treated him in the
Yeah.
start of the episode.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone has a crush on Kira. Yeah, it's tough to.
It's
Yeah.
true, but
I mean, that's easy to understand. But
science fiction fans don't
so
like that. Phantom Outsider, I want you to don't be too
don't
sad.
worry about it, Fanty.
Fanty, we love you very much, but it's very important for everyone here to know that one of the reasons why we don't do spoilers is because we have some people that are new to Star Trek that are here. Some of them are these wonderful young kids like Gen Z and millennials who want to be a part of this. And they are such wonderful people that they hang out with us old fogies and they want to know everything from Star Trek from the beginning. But Enigmatic Drop Bear is not
That's
here
fine,
right
yeah.
now. He's one of the people who we don't spoiler for. And also our wonderful Katie is not here, so we should be all right. But don't beat up yourself too much there, Fanty.
I should have caught it.
Remember.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Fanty. I should have called it. But let's anyway. Let's get on to our next episode. How about that?
Yeah, let's
Who's
do
ready?
it, boss.
Ready? Our next
I'm
episode is
ready.
Sons of Moog.
Sons of Mog. Season 4, episode 15. And what's odd is that the prod code is not listed on this. So I would actually have to ask my Beacons, Cassandra or Michael Beacom. Would you please look up the prod code and put it in the chat for me, please? I don't have my book. And if you could put it up, I would be so grateful to you. So yes, once again, at least for Netflix, this is season 4, episode 15. And remember, they bust it up differently all over the world. So that might not be accurate for you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not crazy. It's just busted up differently. And we all watched this for the very first time on February 12th, 1996. So, turning now to Wikipedia, I'm going to read the plot as provided by the user-generated summary. Let's hope it doesn't suck. Worf gets an unexpected visit from his younger brother, Kurn. Kurn confronts Worf about the dishonor Worf has brought upon their family, the House of Mog, by rejecting the Klingon Empire's war with the Cardassian Empire. As a result of Worf's choices, his family has been stripped of its wealth, honor, and political power. Kurn has lost everything and wants Worf to give back his honor the only way he can, by having Worf ritually kill him. Worf begins the ceremony, but Worf's crewmate Jadzia Dax figures out what he is planning. She and Security Chief Odo rush to interrupt the ceremony after Kurn is stabbed, and Dr. Bashir manages to save him. Captain Sisko is furious and forbids Worf from completing the ceremony. Kurn, without an honorable life or death, places himself in Worf's hands. At Dak's suggestion, Worf asks Odo for a favor and gets Kurn a position with Odo's security force. However, Kurn loses his job when he allows himself to be shot without any attempt to defend himself. Meanwhile, mysterious explosions and cloaked Klingon vessels have been observed near Bajoran space. Eventually, it is discovered that the Klingons are mining the space around Deep Space Nine in preparation for a future war. Worf and Kurn are sent on an undercover mission to discover the mine's location and activation codes. They are able to access the data through though Kurn is forced to shoot a Klingon officer to defend Worf. Wow, what a sentence. Let's revisit the dumbness that is this sentence. They are able to access the data, though Kurn is forced to shoot a Klingon officer to defend Worf. Two sentences, this should be two separate sentences. Anyway, and they have nothing to do with one another. Anyways, let's keep going. Using his this intelligence, Major Kira is able to detonate the mines and flush out the cloaked Klingon vessels. Having killed a man who is acting in defense of the Klingon Empire deepens Kurn's depression. Worf is distressed that he did not realize the Klingon officer intended to kill him, feeling that a real Klingon would have. he comes to the conclusion that he is not the Klingon, that he is not the Klingon or human world. He is not of the Klingon or human world. Wow, the writing's so bad. But he has his Starfleet rank, and Kern has nothing at all. To allow Kern to live an honorable life as a Klingon, Worf has Dr. Bashir erase Kern's memory so he can be given a new identity. Kern, now Rodak, is then entrusted to a family friend who agrees to take him in as a son. In the last scene, he looks to Worf and asks him, "Are you a part of my family?" To which Worf replies, "I have no family." And that is all the Wikipedia has to say about this episode. Captain, my captain, what did you think of this episode, Sons of Moog?
Well, of course, I love the great Tony Todd. I think he's just always terrific, and he's always great as Kern. I got too many. It's pretty. There's some entertaining stuff in it, but there are too many writing problems for me in this episode.
Mhm.
The biggest is, of course, I think Worf is disobeying orders and betraying the Federation when he does it on the Federation when he performs this ritual at the beginning of the episode with his brother. They should have went somewhere else. Go to some Klingon temple or some Klingon somewhere or some other planet where they can do it where he's not doing it, with this uniform or not his uniform, but just in the station. Doing it at the station was wrong. And so I can kind of, even though at first I used to think maybe Cisco overreacted because it was kind of a Klingon, it was a Klingon cultural thing, but he's, it's still when you're wearing this, when you are a Federation officer or, a Starfleet officer, you have to abide by their rules as well. So we have Borath, exactly, or somewhere else, some other planet. So I just didn't think that was a place that they would do that. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The rest of the episode moves on pretty well. And again, you're getting some good stuff, good character stuff, and intrigue. And then everything is fine. I'm willing to accept that toward the end of the episode as a good, well-written character drama. And then the conclusion of him taking his memory away, that it's just cheating. And it's just not it's sweeping it under the rug. Call it whatever you want to call it. I don't like that scenario. I don't like that conclusion. I don't like that I don't like that wrap up. I don't like what their decision was, the way they handled it. And it's just every bit of it just bothers me that you've turned him into someone else. And now he's going to go live a fake life. And what about people who knew him? If he bumps into anyone on the Klingon homeworld who knew who he was already, it just didn't make a lot of sense to me.
They altered his appearance.
I mean, was it that much though?
Yeah, he had extensive plastic surgery performed on his face.
I guess it didn't convince me.
His cranial
much.
ridges were
changed.
Yeah,
no, they did change it, I guess, and they changed his DNA. But it just didn't. I don't know if they hear him talk. I don't know. That's fine then. Just doing that to his memories. Something about it just doesn't sit right with me. I don't like it that much.
I'm sorry if you can all hear the snow plows that are plowing the Canadian streets right now. If you can hear that in the background, I do apologize. There's nothing I could do about it. Huge snow moving machinery has descended upon my quiet little street, and I apologize if you can hear it.
I got you. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. Very kind of you, sir. Says it gives us a 999 super chat. I appreciate you, buddy. Says Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. Don't you have to say it 5 times? Or is it 3?
Don't do that. That's scary.
You're
hey,
scary.
Daniel's Hot Topics. Welcome.
Hey, Daniel's Hot Topics. Welcome. It's good to see you. Let's see. Yep, go with your notes, I guess.
Okay, so here are my notes, folks. We start with a sexy exchange with Jadzia Dax and Worf. This is a new relationship on the Love Boat. More of this crap. Then we have the Mock Tovar. And this, I think, is a very cowardly way of getting into euthanasia, and the fact that you have this entire society that is all wrapped up in honor, but then instead of ending it themselves, they have a family member do it. And I'm saying this, of course, not because I'm a child, but because I have to worry about the algorithm and what the algorithm will pick up as I speak here on YouTube. But this is really a very cowardly way.
Thank you. By the way, sorry. Thank you, Cardi. Yes, I did get it. Tony Todd. I did get your joke, but thank you again for the other super chat. Yes, I think most people know Tony Todd was Candyman, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so this was written by Ronald D. Moore, and I think it's got a great deal of cowardice in it because it does get into euthanasia rather than taking on the this idea of ending things yourself. And so I hope that I've delicately said that and I'm not triggering the algorithm. But if you want to talk about euthanasia, talk about euthanasia. If you want to talk about ending things yourself, talk about ending things yourself.
Right,
I
fair
know
enough.
that that's what Ronald D. Moore is doing here, and I find it very cowardly. I don't think it's handled well. I don't think it's handled in a serious way. It's not fleshed out. It's sort of just left there as though it isn't a serious topic, and you know what he's leaning against. You know what he's trying to get at, and the fact that he just leaves you hanging there is just, I think it's very cowardly. I think it's strange to ask the audience to believe that Worf would kill his brother in a right to die ritual. Right to die is from euthanasia, and so yeah, I didn't like that. The way that it's handled, you know that the writers' room is acting very cowardly. If you want to take on one or the other subject, do that. We've done that in TNG. We know that it can be handled in a loving and caring and profound and cerebral and informative way, something that becomes magic, and you can use science fiction to do that. This is crap. I don't like that that Kern is completely unlikable. Here, if you're going to set up this idea that this person is either going to end things himself, quote unquote, for the algorithms, or go for euthanasia, we should feel pity for him. The author should be intelligent enough to develop a rapport, a pity. We should compassionate this poor creature who is now exiled due to his brother's choices. And his brother's choices were honorable, by the way. And we never get into unpacking that, which I think is bizarre and stupid. I actually like the Kira and O'Brien storyline. Usually I hate these little B storylines, but this is a great storyline. Finally, we have some science fiction and this mystery of the Klingon border ballet, as I call it, where they're turning it into this this minefield. I also like the fact that these mines can be programmed to go off, and they can be live or they can just go to sleep. And I really like that. I thought that was cool. I don't like that they turned Kern into a complete coward. He behaves like a coward. This is completely antithetical to the entire narrative that's been built up about the Klingons. I did like the solution, however. I did like the idea of extensive plastic surgery and wiping Kern's slate clean to alter his appearance and to let him start anew. I thought that was the one aspect of science fiction here. And I thought that it was a good, neat, clean solution. And I liked the fact that technology was the solution. I liked that he was placed into the hands of a family friend, and I thought that was neat. So we had some science fiction with Kira and O'Brien and the Klingon ballet border with the minefield and how the mines work. These aren't simple claymores. They're highly technical, and I liked this whole idea of using technology technology to radically alter the appearance of someone and wipe their memory when they are incapable of a desire to live, to go on. But the way that it's all set up, everything else around it is crap. It's loose writing, it's terrible, and I don't like it. I feel very sad that Worf is destined to walk his life alone. So, these writers, they love to beat up on O'Brien. O'Brien always has horrible things happen to him, like PTSD, like every week. And he has the most awful wife, Keiko, the most abusive, terrible wife. But here we have Worf. Poor Worf. Worf, it always comes down to him being alone. He's a man who lives in two radically different worlds, and he's trying his best to do the right thing. So it just makes me love Worf even more. However, this story has lots of weaknesses. It feels discombobulated. They rely on loose threads from previous stories that defy the actual truth of those previous stories. That being that Worf being exiled again, and all of the troubles that he had with the Klingon Empire and the Klingon High Council were brought about by him being honorable. Remember, there was internal fighting, and Worf chose to do the right thing and not get involved with the internal fighting and not get involved with this expansion of the Empire. He thought it was unwise. We don't explore that. So therefore, the entire trappings of this story is and I found the story slightly scatterbrained, but I did like the Kieran O'Brien thing, sci-fi, and then the solution, sci-fi, and then we have this really great character moment with Worf, and that's it. That's all I got for you.
Hey, James Caserta and Cavachino Cavaman Shea, welcome, my friends. Good to see you. Okie dokie. So, what is your rating of Sons of Mole?
For me, this sucker is a C- because of this assuming that the person is, watching this show at home and they're a casual viewer and they're not aware that Worf, his reputation for honor is beyond reproach, and that his brother should be backing him up. His brother should be saying, this exile has been tremendously hard for me, but you did the right thing. Our house is a house of great honor, but due to this internal politics, we're living in exile. So it makes the viewer feel like they're being treated like they're an idiot when they're not. So C-.
Is everyone hearing us out there? I'm just checking something. Everyone's hearing us okay out there? I guess we gotta.
What's the matter, boss?
I don't know. Mr. Angel's saying the stream crashed.
Ooh. Can I get a check-in from the wrenches?
5x5. There we go. There
Chris,
you go.
are you
Marty,
okay, honey? Okay, good. Thanks,
thank you, Marty.
Mark.
Okay.
JT Kirk!
Yeah, thank you, JT Kirk. And it looks like the Jags pulled it out there, JT Kirk, even though they're not putting the score up yet. Weird. Okay, they did.
Shooter's saying it's fine. Chris is saying it's fine.
All right, buddy. Thank you. I don't know. You scare me when you do that, Mr. Angel. He said it's back. He said it's back. He says, I hope it never left. But
Yeah, right.
Anyway, could have been just on your end there, buddy. Yep. Wow. Incredible game. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a C- also. There's a lot of good stuff, and I do agree with you on the O'Brien Kira stuff. I did like all of that. And of course, I like a lot of the acting, of course, the great Tony Todd and a lot of the acting and all that kind of stuff. And just kind of a mess of an episode for me anyway. So, all right, everybody, our dear friends in the chat, please. Snail said it was down for him too. Was it down for any of you all?
Oh, weird.
At any point? Maybe it was just certain countries, maybe just across the pond. Yeah, I mean, who knows? So anyway, please start with your ratings and reviews, my friends, and I will bring us some more Max Redstone entertainment. All right. The great Max Redstone, master of the limerick, folks, has written another limerick for for this episode, the Sons of Moog, and here we go. Worf's brother, excuse me, let me start all over because I need to clear up. All righty. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Okay, he says, Worf's brother Kurn is feeling abused. With Worf, Gowron has not been amused. Kurn's dishonor was such a bane. Worf has Bashir erase his brain. It was that, or let him keep getting boozed. Well done, Max Redstone. Love it, buddy. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. Let's see what you guys are saying out there on the other side. JT Kirk says D+. The puns of Moog makes a mockery of Klingon traditions. The HOM is powerful, yet it's just Kurn and Worf. Yet it's just Kurn and Worf. Yeah. I refused. Oh, the House of Moog. Oh, the House of Moog is powerful, yet it's just Kurn and Worf. I refuse to accept Worf is that stupid to repeat a Klingon suicide ritual after TNG. And there's a good pernt.
We might just want to have to say we might just be safer if we just say the S word, boss.
Huh?
I believe I have been told by a couple of other streamers that particular S word will result in shutter. So we have to be careful when we say the S word.
Oh, the self-delete thing?
Self-delete, that's a good one. Use self-delete.
Yeah. Oh, did I say that word?
You did, boss. And there are several people in the chat that have used that word. So as you read these, Captain, my captain, please self-delete when you see that word.
A split second after I said it, I didn't realize I said it, and now I don't have no recall. I know you said I just read it. I have no recall. I have no recollection of reading it even.
That's okay, honey.
Just read it, and just didn't even think about it. Oh my goodness! So
it's okay, boss. It's all right
because it was in the review. So, oh man, I gotta. Who was that? Oh, that was Kurt Worf, except the Worf is stupid. Repeat it. Oh yeah, I did say it. Oh
yep.
God, sorry.
Just say self-delete. Self-delete. Chris says that he wants you to say sarsaparilla.
Okie dokie.
I love you, Chris.
Zathras says D. Kern's story was finished in the book series Left Hand of Destiny. Spoiler alert, Kern bedded Kira and kicked Bourne out. Okay, just kidding. Good one, though. Thank you, buddy.
I love Zathras.
A+ says Stephen in The Great Kal-El. He says, this was an excellent episode involving integral themes such as family and honor. It also provided some excellent insights into the traditions and the distinct cultural uniqueness of the Klingon Empire. Worf's journey was an interesting one, as he is constantly looking to do the honorable thing, even to the point of risking his own life and career in Starfleet in order to help. Hang on. Got to get to the next one there. Oops. Sometimes it takes me a bit to find it. His brother regained his own honor. Dax's role in the story was well integrated, as she starts off by interfering with Klingon tradition between the two brothers and ultimately giving Worf an option. Got to find the next one, man. What was that one? What was that last one I did? I need to check the numbers better. Hope that was 3. That helps Kern without actually ending his life. Worf's realization of how his time amongst humans has changed his perception of what it means to be Klingon and his acceptance of that fact. Hang on. Was an important moment for the character, and as Kern says, shows that Worf is in his own way an honorable individual. Although more character-driven than pure sci-fi, this was an excellent brilliantly told story with a somewhat poignant ending. Well, thank you so much, Kal-El. Appreciate you, buddy. Hang on. See if I can. The Catman, aka D. Meyer, says, Club, I give it a C. I thought it was an okay episode, but not a fave of mine. Thank you so much, Catman. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Wolfie says, B minus. The Vorcha class IKS Dravana. Wow, we have not seen battle damage like that since Wolfie 359. Great work by Gene's company. Burned replicated bird meat.
Yep, I thought the same thing. It blew me away. That was a great aspect of this episode. Love that, Wolfie.
Mark D, that's not a review, but he put something up here. So I assume that you have it up here. You deemed it relevant. Bashir, well, wiping his memory is relatively simple, say an hour, but changing his genetic coding combined with surgically altering his features will take at least another 5 hours. Yeah, I remember that. I'm just saying I wasn't that convinced by the way you looked, but I remember all that. Even I remember that. I don't remember saying that word like 2 seconds after I said it, but for some reason I do remember that. Weird, I know. Mr. Angel says, N minus. In from Nope. Interesting build up. Interesting build up. Plot what? Oh, plot armor alert, raise shields, that brain wipe lame, nope, unworthy for a Klingon.
Yep.
It leaves it's a head scratcher for me personally. Michael Beacom says D. What is wrong with these people? I know there were times growing up when my big brother and I said we like to ill one another, but this is just ill. I get it, alien culture, humans don't understand it. Set. Here's where a lack of science thinking, let alone knowledge, hurts them. Sorry. The Federation says stopping your brother is wrong. Fly to Klingon space, problem solved. That's what I kind of would have thought. I mean, it's fine where they do it. I mean, it's one of their thingies, but ditto super sophisticated minefields. The instant they said they would detonate them, an AI should have changed all codes. Also, Dr. Bashir proves he has never heard of Hippocrates.
Hippocrates.
Wow.
The Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah, indeed.
Do no harm.
They admit it. Page 312. I'd be very, very cautious before I sent someone to Dr. Bashir's infirmary, quips Bear, unless I wanted a guy dead. They also admit they wanted Dax and Worf together. Hang on. Minute they brought him on the show. And Troy, page 313. Moore says he thinks they broke up after the destruction of the Enterprise D. It was probably amicable with a Klingon that must mean both parties lived. They credit Dorn with the invention of the mechalith. Overall, they're trying to explore ethical and technical conundrums that are not prepared to, they are not fully prepared. Excuse me, they are not prepared to fully think through. Sorry, Michael, mangle that up there for you. But thank you, Michael Beacom. Well done as always. I hears you on FM, sir. Let's see here. Raymond Feliciano says, "See, the Klingon self-deletion trope is getting old. Tony Todd is always an amazing actor." Mm-hmm. Yes. I've known actually now that you mentioned, I've actually known from before that you shouldn't. That's a word that's in G.
The S word
for YouTube.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think about it.
Hey, do you remember when I started with you 2 years ago? I thought that like I could be like an academic and I could be all academic on
Uh-huh.
here and I that everything was going to be fine. I've learned so much in 2 years about how none of that stuff matters here. You don't have the freedom to say what you want to say. There's no one who you can complain to, and even if what you're saying is relevant, salient, innocent, and you're just discussing a topic, you're still not allowed. It's just, it blows me away
That's right.
how
Yeah.
naive I was as an academic when you all first started inviting me to be on these streams, and how far I've come in 2 years to just seeing things in an entirely
It's
different way
different.
than I did before. But yeah, we can't
Oh,
say
yeah.
that. We can only say self-delete. Even if we're adults speaking about a show, reviewing it, and discussing it in a caring and intelligent way. It's just, it blows me away.
That word is, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, obviously, it's something you don't want to do, but the word is just a descriptive of something that happens. It's
Yeah.
the Comic Relief Crusader says, D. Worf not going by the book seems like crazy writing. Plus, raising memory of his brother is in poor taste and not which could be an opportunity for better stories. Bleach.
Yep.
I know you mean Black or Bleach.
Yeah, I think
No,
autocorrect
I hear
got
you.
him there.
I hear you, buddy. I got you. Shooter says, C plus. Another Klingon focused episode, necessary considering what went down between Worf and Gowron. The episode shows Worf's values don't line up with other. That's for sure. The focus of Kern's fall was good, but it could have been better if they showed him trying to adapt to a foreign culture and accept his fall. Would work. Would have worked well. Okay. Yep. But didn't he also do it against Kern's will? I mean, I don't know. That's kind of bothering.
He did, and that's why I said that. That's why I gave it such a crappy rating, is because it's very cowardly. Because you have the idea of self-deletion, and we could have dealt with that. That could have been an amazing episode, especially if it would have been handled in a very intelligent and careful way, especially abiding the canon, looking to those previous stories about how honorable Worf is. And yet we didn't do that. And then we have also this idea of euthanasia. So they're so cowardly that they can't do it themselves, and so you get into this right to die thing. And so then, but they drop that as well, and they don't really handle that either. And they turn it into brother killing brother. And so it's just so cowardly to walk up to these two incredibly important issues and then to just walk away from them like it's nothing. I think it's very cowardly of Ronald D. Moore, and it's why the episode sucks.
Yeah. And again, he just arbitrarily chose that Kern would to do this for Kern.
Yeah.
And did give him a say in it.
Yep.
And Kern would not have chosen to do that, I don't think. It's just so weird because, like I said, he's not the same person. He has, he's a person is the sum of their memories. So Kern or his brother, what's left of him is walking around breathing, and he's totally some other person now.
Yeah.
That's why it does not sit well with me what he did to him.
Yeah. And I like what Simply Steve just put into the chat, saying, like Dr. Kevorkian and then nothing. So it's like you tag Dr. Kevorkian in a conversation, then you walk away from it like no biggie, and then you get into the whole like self-deletion thing, and then you tap that, you tag that into the wrestling match, and then walk away again. It's fail after fail. It's moral and ethical failure on the part of these writers, Ronald D. Moore, in this episode.
I'm going to maintain that he did kill his brother. When he did that, he killed him. He took away everything that was about him. You're some of your memories. And then what he kept was a physical copy of his brother that wasn't even a perfect physical copy, because as you said, they changed his DNA, they changed his looks. He has nothing left of him. So it's like It's like you kept his corpse
That's right.
moving
And
and
I
alive,
love
but
what
he's
you
not
just said
alive.
there. I love what you just said there. What you just said is so intelligent and somewhat profound. I want you to think about that. I think that's a wonderful synopsis. This whole idea, to wrap the whole idea up. It maybe if we would have been allowed to linger on that point, it would have, drawn me in, and I would have given it a positive review, because what you're saying is true. Essentially, he did kill him by, erasing who he is. So I love that you said that.
The
Beautiful.
body's walking around, the soul, the mind, all of it's gone.
Yep, that's true.
It's
And
ghoulish it's kind of ghoulish when you think about it. It makes
it
me
is,
hate the
and he
episode even
did it
more.
to his brother, because
His brother.
because Ronald D. Moore was too cowardly to unpack the work that has to go into rehabilitating the mind, counseling, talking to people. It's really sad. And I just wanted to welcome Dadman walking.
Dad
Dadman
man,
and the
buddy.
Dadman clan are here. Hello, everyone.
Dad man. How about those Jags, huh? What a crazy ending there, buddy. No, so yeah, I think he murdered his brother after all, murdered him, not. And I think he just did something far more foul and disgusting. And the more I've thought about it, remember how I started out at the beginning of this review saying something just doesn't feel right? It took me a lot of thought about it, because it's been years since I've watched it. And I now revise my review to an F. I hate this episode even more now. And so let me continue with our reviews.
Pretty scary though, boss, and I like what you just did there. But it's true. Like when you cozy up to these incredibly important issues that terrify humanity, and then just walk away from it like you have no responsibility for bringing it up and then handling it in such a cowardly way. I love it, and I love that you changed your review that way. And I would like to welcome to the chat PvP. Good evening, Pleasant Valley Picker. Nice to see you.
Hey, good to see you, man. Pleasant Valley. Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's see here. All right. Jill, our wonderful friend, our chief of communications, our communications officer, says B+. Worf's loyalty to the Federation has devastating consequences to his family, showing how DS9 shines in story arcs while also constructing a complete episodic story. Dax supports Worf, unlike Keiko. I'm like, yeah. Best line is when Worf says he is indebted to Odo. Odo, yes, you are. And Mr. Worf, you'll find I'm a man who collects on his debts. Yep. Thank you, Jill. Absolutely, isn't this? Oh, did I finish? I didn't finish up with Shooter. I'm sorry, Shooter. I knew I shouldn't do that. The B story works well in support of the A story. Overall enjoyable, but not great. The solution is interesting, but raises moral questions, notably with Klingon faith. Also, the logistics involved. Also of note is the false information directories and how they relate to the previous episode. Were these new measures in place when Dukat and Kira took the bird of prey? I don't know. I don't know. Phantom Outsider says D. Worf was given decommendation, was restored, taken again, but Kern can't tough it out once. There you go. What Kern needed was a kick in the backside from his older brother.
And see, that's Fanti talking like an actual Star Trek writer, like an actual science fiction author. A science fiction author would be keen to explaining why they were exiled, why all of these things are happening. Fanti is keen to those details that the viewers are aware of, and it seems that the writers are oblivious to.
Indeedishness. Not going into a witness protection program, Worf should have said, "You will regain your honor. It will be hard, but we will do it together. Remember, Worf has told he'd be a Klingon governor in TNG."
Yes, baby. Yes. Yes, Fanti. Yes.
Max Redstone says, C+. Once again, we see the consequences of Worf's decisions. We see the mock to war ceremony to completion There is no way Alexander could have done that for Worf.
Yeah.
That's right. Worf has once again been sent to the principal's office for trying to embrace the Klingon culture that typically rejects him and from whom he keeps his distance. Overall, this is a somewhat weak episode. Kurn is facing real and substantial issues, but they're not fully and properly handled. In TNG, Kurn is portrayed as resourceful, not cowardly.
Agreed.
However, the surgical Dea Machina was acceptable as a plot mechanism. The B plot of Kira and O'Brien fishing the cloaked mines was an interesting plot point. Thank you,
Okay,
Max
well,
Redstone.
I would like to say to Max that I'm not quite sure that I agree with the Deus Ex Machina. I hate saying it in Latin. In Greek, and I believe that's where that term comes from. It originates in Greece, not Latin Italy. But you'd have to check into that. It means God in the machine. And so when I think about using that term, I think about God in the machine. And that's not really what's happening here. They don't tie everything all up and solve everything by through some act of God or something that is impossible for us to conceive. This is science fiction. And it's so funny because, every chance they have to take away or give someone their memories is it's like that movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or whatever the heck that movie's called.
Yeah,
And it involves transhumanism. There will come a point where we are going to be able to edit trauma. We're going to be able to take it away, take certain memories away from people. They'll sign up to take those memories away. So I don't agree that that is a God in the machine, that is an example of God in the machine. I would argue that it is actually perfect science fiction, but it's in a crappy episode, because we definitely could have discussed that. That is an amazing thing to talk about. Imagine if Ronald D. Moore wasn't a coward and he would have explored that issue going forward into the future. If you had the power, would you edit away the things that were horrible that happened to you? Or if you could not help someone who wanted to self-delete, would it be ethical to basically reprogram them or wipe the slate clean? That is a tremendously powerful science fiction idea, a science fiction storyline, not God in the machine. So that I would argue against that, but I agree with your statements, just that part, if that makes sense.
Simply Steve says, I give it a C plus for brotherly love and honor. Okie dokie. Chris Persia gives it a C minus. As much as I love Tony Todd and the build of tension, what Worf had Julian do was not honorable by Klingon standards, nor was it ethical under Federation regulations. There was absolutely any standards. I find it to be appalling, personally. Erasing a person's memories without their consent is not ethical, nor is it altering someone's DNA. And Julian should have known this. He should be drummed out of Starfleet for it. And they effectively murdered an individual.
Mm-hmm.
They changed him. They turned him into a zombie. It was absolutely terrifically horrible.
Boss, before you read Cardinal Sins, I need to welcome Mark Lerseth to the chat. So nice to see you. And Monkey G Buzz and James Caserta.
James Caserta's been here. I got him already.
Okay.
That's good. Yes, and Monkey's here?
Yeah, Monkey G Buzz.
Thank you. And Mark Lerseth, good to see you. Thank you both for being here.
Sorry, boss.
Oh, no. Not at all. Thank you, because I can't see the chat. So, Cardinal Sin, thank you for another. You're very generous, sir, with your $9.99 super chat. He says you guys are doing this on an educational basis, which is covered in fair use. After the first 30 seconds, you can let the F-bombs fly. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
That's not true, but okay.
Thank you. We'll take it under advisement, though. Thank you, Gil. He says 1 of 12. I really thought it better not be 12.
It's not.
I know. If it's 12, I'm coming after you. No, I'm just kidding. I really thought this episode was poignant and brought a lot of the great ideas into the show. Just kidding. They're on another 11 coming. Well, Cardi, I was about to come after you. Don't make me turn this podcast around. No, thank you, Cardi. Appreciate you, buddy. Cavatino. Cavalman Shea says rating A. Back in 96, C in retrospect. Which, with knowledge I have now, Worf should have let Kern use a holo suite with safety parameters off and let him fight in an overwhelming scenario to get deleted. I hear you.
That's a very cute thing to say. Love that.
He says he's got another one.
He does.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay.
It came much later,
okay,
so it's going the timestamp's going to be weird on the boss. As
a warrior race based on samurai,
yes,
conflicted with feelings because I understand Kern's issues. Although Worf still has his son Alexander pouring a cup of prune juice in Kern's memory. There you go. Mark Rousseff says, "Who would be trusted with the power to edit memories?" That's pretty messed up stuff.
Yeah, and Mark knows exactly what I'm talking about. You see what I mean? It's not God in the machine or Deus ex machina, the machine, God in the machine. It's not. It's really, this could have been turned into an incredible story if we would have just focused on euthanasia, if we just would have focused on the right to die or self-deletion, or this idea where you could edit someone's trauma, and like Mark said, who would be in charge of such a thing? So I loved Mark's comment. Thank you, Mark.
I don't even buy the thing. I mean, I think they short-term memory. There was an episode of TNG where Dr. Crusher was able to do it with somebody's short-term memory, but he was doing it to his whole life memory.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I've never even heard that precedent for that in Star Trek. Have you?
I would need to think about that for a little while.
I can't think of any. It was really, really silly if you think about it, as well as incredibly unethical.
Yeah.
I think it's C or C minus. One for Pleasant Valley says, "I like that it grew Worf's character more." Yes, have to agree. Wiping his brother was awful. Okay, thank you, buddy, for that. And the great Mark D with the C for our final review of this episode this evening says, not of the evening. I mean, of this episode. B minus says he says Kern's life is truly tragic. He has lost everything due to Worf not supporting Gowron and laments. Shouldn't a warrior have the right to decide when his time has come? Which doesn't make a lot of sense because they don't decide. They go into battle and then it just happens, right? But Worf was caught between two worlds and has chosen to support the Federation with dire consequences for his family. Tragically, Kern's last line is, "Do you know what one of my regret is, Worf?" One of my regrets is, Worf, he says, that we weren't raised together in the Empire on Earth. It wouldn't have mattered, but the Sons of Moog should have never been separated. That was a great bit. Yeah. Big problems with the episode was Worf should be in jail. Wasn't that attempted murder? Yeah. How is it ethical to erase a person without consent?
Mm-hmm.
You got me. The whole thing just always makes me go, I can't believe they did it. And it's been a while since I watched it, so I hadn't thought about it. Yeah. Every time I watch that, I'm gobsmacked. I'm like, what? Why? Yeah. Why would you do this?
Yeah, that's why I reacted to it the way that I did. And Mark says, that Crusher did it with Sarjenka when Data did what he wasn't supposed to do. He picked up that radio call for help or whatever. But Mark, I don't think the boss man, the captain, was talking about just like a section of memories. I think he's asking us all if we recall a time when someone was completely remade into something else.
They deleted his whole
total
life.
Memory. Yeah.
They memory, his whole life
genetics, physical appearance.
It was really idiotic.
Yeah, it would have to be all of it, Mark. But yeah, Sarjenka is an example of editing the memory. Yeah. All
right, are we ready for our next one?
We are, boss. We are.
Okay. Well, we'll set this up and then I will go take medicine.
Okay. All right. Did you put? Oh, you did. You did put it up. Okay, you guys got my 6. Please, wrenches, take my 6 now. I'm gonna look down.
Shot, don't worry.
This
right back.
is a bar association. This is season 4, episode 16. If you're following along in the text, it is prod code 488. And we all watched this for the very first time on February 19th, 1996. And now I'm going to read from Wikipedia, the plot. A lot of times it's really difficult to read because not only is it a cold read, an extemporaneous read, but it's also because it's so poorly written. So bear with me, folks. Hopefully it doesn't suck. And if there's anything wrong with it, make sure that you put that in the chat. I love seeing those corrections because I find it hard to do well on reading. So let's go. Quark's brother Rom collapses from an ear infection while working at Quark's. At the infirmary, Dr. Bashir is outraged that Quark refuses to give his employees sick leave and casually suggests that Rom form a union. When Rom returns to work, Quark announces that he is cutting his employees' salaries. Angered at this mistreatment, Rom calls a secret meeting of Quark's employees and persuades them to start a union. Inspired by Chief O'Brien's tales of his union leader ancestor, Sean O'Brien, Rom makes up a list of demands: increased pay, shorter hours, paid sick leave, and when Quark laughs them off, Rom declares that the new union is on strike. Rom pays customers to stay out of Quark's, and the bar is practically deserted. After Lieutenant Worf, O'Brien, and Bashir wind up in a brawl over the difference of opinion on the issue, Station Commander Captain Sisko threatens to collect Quark's back rent if the strike doesn't end soon. Quark offers Rom a bribe to stop the strike, but Rom, quoting Marx's Communist Manifesto, "Workers of the world unite," refuses. Liquidator Brunt, an agent of the Ferengi Commerce Authority, arrives and promises Quark he will put a stop to the strike. Brunt crashes a union meeting and threatens the Ferengi workers with monetary ruin and legal problems if they don't return to Quark's. He also shows up with Nausicaans. Somebody should add that to this pathetic review. Anyway, however, Rom inspires his troops once again, and they rededicate themselves to the strike. Later, Quark tries to talk Rom into giving up. Worried about the FCA, worried what the FCA will do to his brother. But Rom holds firm, questioning Quark's concern for his safety. Back at the bar, Brunt has his thugs beat up Quark as an example. In the infirmary, Quark offers to secretly honor the demands of the strikers, as long as Rom disbands the union and pretends that Quark has won, to which Rom agrees. Once everyone returns to work at their new higher salaries, Rom makes amends with Quark, but quits his job at the bar to work for the station as a junior repair technician, having realized that he does better outside Quark's authority. He promises to return to the bar frequently, but as a paying customer. Well, he also promises to do all of the repairs for Quark. In a subplot, Worf is uncomfortable with the chaos of living on Deep Space Nine, and he moves his quarters to the starship Defiant. And that is all the collective internet has to say about Bar Association. Captain, my captain, are you back from fetching your meds? Please tell me,
I'm here.
What did you think of this episode?
Well, one thing I can say about this episode, it was definitely filmed and shown on television. I think I can confidently say. And thank you, JT Kirk, for the $5 super chat. You were too kind. It says, Raquel, you just said the U word.
I know.
You were. The chat accounts are all ruined. The FCA has ears everywhere. We're all going to yes. Well, I think
Sorry.
it was kind of a waste of the great Jeffrey Combs. Another, I don't know how to say it. Another one of those episodes? It's not so it's terrible. It's just kind of, I don't care. It's just I guess it's supposed to be funny. That's a good point, James Caserta. How is this Star Trek? Well, It's
Sorry, I
Star
had to put
Trek.
that up there.
It's dealing with a slice of life in the Star Trek universe and on the station. I get that, but we've been doing too much of that. It's just getting old by this point. This kind of episode, it feels like filler. It does nothing even to advance the story that they're working up to at all. It's just, you want to call it a bottle episode or a filler? I don't know what you want to call it, but there's okay character moments in it, but I need more out of my Star Trek. I just need more, and this is not really what I'm becoming a broken record with this show because I'm someone who considers myself a fan of this show, but as we're doing this week to week now, in an analytical way, I just don't care about this episode.
I've ruined Star Trek for you by
No,
this
was my dumb idea. Remember, this was my idea to do this show. I didn't ruin anything. I've always watched it, and you know, you go episode to episode, and I guess I think people ordinarily judge Deep Space Nine as one big piece, one big long, one tapestry of a story of 7 years and a bunch of 100 whatever episodes, right? When you break them down to individual episodes, there's some great ones, sure. But then there's stuff like this. And I'm beginning to think there's a little bit more like this than the really just super, just great episodes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Cardi says, you guys be covering Star Trek Enterprise after this? We're going to do Voyager next and then Enterprise. So we will be doing Enterprise for sure, Cardi. It's a little ways away.
Yeah.
I'm actually, when I'm not reviewing this, I've been going back. I'm binging Enterprise right now for like the 20th time, and feeling so much more like Star Trek than this. I love it, but I'm a weirdo.
You know, I've been saying this a lot in private, but in public, I haven't said it as much. But yeah, like I've been rewatching Star Trek starting on January 1st, ever since it was technically possible, and I watch it in a linear fashion, in order. And so, when I first got to the internet, and I met a lot of people who, what they did is they curated their favorite episodes and they rewatched them over and over again. And they basically memorize all of the episodes. And that's a very geeky thing to do. And I think it's cool. But that forms their entire opinion on Star Trek. And the thing is that, if you watch all 735 iterations in order, you begin to see different things, like how every iteration borrows from the iteration before, how they recycle ideas, even the names of shows. And so, so a different picture begins to develop, and your opinion is altered once you begin to look at the individual episodes in order, instead of meditating on these favorite episodes and sort of, finding yourself an expert. And so when I bumped up against that on social media, I felt really strange at first, because I was like, why do these people have like the same 10 episodes that they love memorized, and they think they're a Star Trek expert? And when meanwhile there's 735 things to watch, and when you watch them all in order, in a linear fashion, a completely different look, aspect, perspective on the fandom takes shape, and certainly on the content proper, right? The matter and the manner. So it's been weird for me too. It's weird.
Anyway, no, I mean, look, it's got some fine character stuff in it. I watch this. I don't have a horrible time. I don't have a really particularly great time either. I just go, okay. I mean, look, again, I like Rom, fine. I like Quark. I like a lot of these characters. It is kind of just another little small brick in this wall that they're building. All in all, it's another brick in the wall. I don't hate it or anything. It's just not a particular episode that really sticks out, except of course the great Jeffrey Combs is always fantastic. Sean Carter says, for $5, thank you, sir. He says the episode may have been a bit silly, but from Rom's perspective, it's huge. It makes him less of a caricature. It moves Quark's character. It moves Quark's character arc. Oh yeah, they do a lot of character foundation stuff on a lot of episodes there, Sean. And they've already had a few episodes before this where they started changing Rom. So yes, as I said, this is a character episode, and they sure do like to take their time with foundational character building for shows longevity, and that's all fine. But since we're breaking these down into episodes, we're reviewing them as like one episode, which is tougher to do when it doesn't have, when the episodes it just doesn't have a whole lot to do with anything, and it's not really a science fiction story. But anyway, so notes.
Yes,
we're gonna make some time here.
I'll do my notes and I'll get through them quickly. I just want to say, yes, PvP. I do find that the series, like when you look at all 735, we do see derivative content after TOS and after TAS, and sometimes it's done in a very loving and beautiful way where it's homage and you feel it, and it's quite spectacular. And I definitely feel that way about Enterprise. However, as far as quality goes, I do find it centrifugal, with the exception of Enterprise. So the TOS and the TAS being the true heart, when there were science fiction authors, the Holy Trinity was available. We had Gene L. Kuhn, we had DC Fontana, we had Gene Roddenberry. We had that Holy Trinity working to make science fiction stories that require research, that require concept, that explore technical things, they explore futurism, they explore outer space, they explore aliens, they explore the genre. And after that, you sort of feel like, not sort of, you absolutely feel the difference between these drama writers who know nothing about science fiction writing Star Trek until we get to Enterprise. And then that's when we start to feel the magic again. At least that's when I do. And a great deal of that has to be attributed to, do you write science fiction or not? And you can tell, you can tell in the end game. So I'm going to get to my notes. I'm going to get through them really quickly because we're already at the 2-hour mark. This is the Union episode. I don't like that Rom pleasures himself. He talks about pleasuring himself, onanism, and asks Lita to do it for him, right to her face. What a conversation to have with a woman and a colleague. And so I thought that was quite vulgar, and it makes you not want to like him, because Quark at one point even attributes his infection with onanism, and so that's quite vulgar, and I don't think that belongs in Star Trek. I don't like it. I think it's weird, and it's inappropriate. Oh yes, the picket line. How to divide the fans. Are you with Marx and Engels, or are you not? There is no tension in this episode. There is no villain in this episode. This is not science fiction. This is just commentary on unions. The second storyline of Worf hating socializing is kind of cool. I like that because, of course, I'm an INTJ. I'm an introvert, so I identify with that. And we notice that there's more awkward sexual tension with Jadzia Dax. These two are growing closer. Then I have in my notes, Rom goes to work for the station. Yay for Rom. And then, Snail Messiah, please cover your ears. I just love you, Snail Messiah. I don't want you to be offended. He orders snail juice. And then I have written in yelling all caps, underlined 4 times with superfluous exclamation points. Hide, Snail Messiah. Hide, Snail Messiah. And that is all I have in my notes, Captain, my captain.
Yeah, I think the shooter. Well, I really don't want to start up another discussion, so don't engage it too much. But no, I don't think anyone's saying Brunt is the villain. I think this is just a question of these writers putting their own bias towards who is villainous, which side is villainous, and of course, the people they disagree with, anyone who's anti-union, your Brunt Ferengi, your Ferengi Brunt types. And if you're for that and you agree with the writers of the show, you're the good guys, the nice, sweet, wonderful people with the union, starting with union meaning Rom and Alita and all that stuff. So it's that bias that's in there. But anyway, okay. Well,
quoting Marx and Engels It really doesn't.
Exactly. Of
It
course.
puts Brunt in a position where Brunt then takes on a partisan role instead of a cultural role.
Right.
So it's two on the nose. There's
Exactly.
no villain here. This
No.
is a discussion. This is a political discussion about how to
Exactly.
yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to back away from that because we
No,
don't
exactly.
talk about sex here. We don't talk about politics here. We don't talk about religion here because that
Right.
just upsets people, and it's a wonderful way to divide a room. So anyways, I'm just simply pointing out that there is no villain here. What it really is juxtaposition. And we have an actual quote of Marx and Engels, and then we have Brunt. So we know what these two represent. And this is a discussion about unions. It's not science fiction.
Nope. Not really. And they actually did it on Babylon 5. And it was only one episode, and they dealt with it even better. But anyway, but it was a different kind of show. This is very similar. Well, anyway. All right. So what is your rating of Bar Association?
It's a D.
Yeah, me too. I almost went lower than that. Just not into it. Not my bag. Not really what I'm looking for. James Caserta, this is for another time, but I absolutely disagree with you 100%. I love the Enterprise characters. They were never bland and boring, but that's just a matter of an opinion. All right. So, but again, you're entitled to your opinion. Don't worry about that.
Yes.
So,
yes.
while you're doing that, while you're starring those, I will bring us some fantastic Mex Red State entertainment. How about that?
You go ahead and do that, and I'll just let everyone know in the chat that it's my job to identify your comments and things that I know the captain will want read. And so it's a lot of clicking. So I'm going to go radio silent. So if you don't hear me talking, I'm not ignoring you. I love you all, but I'm after your great comments. So I'm going radio silent, boss.
All righty. So, another limerick from the great Max Redstone, everybody. This time it's Bar Association. Here we go. Ferengi say get rich or die trying. Exploitation is what they're implying. So to keep things stable, Quark will pay under the table, and Liquidator Brunt will think he's complying. Whoa, another. Your limits are way better than the episodes tonight by far, Max Redstone. Well done, buddy. And I'm going to read this super chat from the great Cardinal Sin, K Cardi. Thank you, man. You're just way too generous. I appreciate you, buddy. He says, Raquel, actually, the sci-fi, the SF, I guess science fiction, you're referencing its golden age with the advent of new wave science fiction in the 60s, dangerous visions. Sex and relationships become part of science fiction so long as it was done right. That's part one. Then he has a this is not something to be litigating here inside Star Trek Guild, but thank you.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into this big fight. So Raquel, the term was first used in ancient Greek and Roman drama, where it meant the timely appearance of a god to unravel and resolve the plot. The Deus Machina was named for the convention.
Wow.
For the convention.
Okay. I'm not even going to dignify this with a response.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. If you want to discuss that on the Clubhouse, we can discuss that on the Clubhouse. And yeah, I'm not going to respond to that here. Sorry.
Well, one of these days we'll try to address that stuff, Cardinal. But I'm just so way behind right now, buddy. I thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you very kindly. I mean, if you keep that thought in mind, and if you guys want to talk about it some other time, you're welcome. But let's see where we are. Simply, Steve says, rating D, 2 out of 10 barroom brawls for the use of the U word. And and Rom's pleasuring was disgusting. Yeah, it was. I can't argue with that. Michael Beacom says, F. Wow. I could go along. I could go along with it up until Rom quotes Karl Marx. They lost me right there. I felt like I was watching something written by my 10th grade economics professor who always tried to turn get your next one. Sorry, bud. There we go. Lessons into stories we could relate to. They had an entire episode to explore Worf dealing with the situation, with the station and Dax, and instead it was a B story. O'Brien and Worf get into a bar fight. That was so dumb. I hated that.
Yeah, that's very dumb.
That was
not
dumb
something
stuff
Worf
too.
would do.
He says, page 316, Bear did that as tribute to John Ford's Ford Apache. How about the next time you not rip off other films? Misdirected by LeVar Burton, stick to Reading Rainbow, where you're on the same level as your audience. Ooh,
love it, Michael. Love it, Michael.
Michael, that's brutal. Love it.
Love it, Michael.
Like a flood ripping through a city, you could see broken bits of good ideas swirling in the flowing muck, but only for a moment, then gone. I am the arm. I say arm the Clabboni. Well, this
fire
is
up the Clabboni. Warm it up. Warm up that Clabboni.
It is Clabboni time. So it's gonna fine. Here we go.
Crap.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Woke Breaker just walked through the door, boss.
Who? Woke
Breaker.
I didn't hear you. Woke Breaker. Welcome. Good to see you. Cardi. Well, dude, I don't know what to say. It's very generous of you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $50 super chat. You're too kind. Like I said, I mean, we're talking Star Trek tonight. So that's the only reason. But he says, Raquel, as a fellow academic, I graduated for the Center for the Study of Science Fiction and the University of Kansas, at the University of Kansas. Sorry, I agree with a lot of what you have to say, but you'd be surprised what can be called science fiction and what can't. It's changed a lot. Well, you can call anything. I understand that.
Well, and I just want to ask, and I'm sorry to be rude, but I'm just going to be frank.
Thank you, Cardi.
What does that have to do with what I've said here tonight? We're talking about Star Trek, and it was brought up that God in the Machine, that there was tonight an incident where there was God in the Machine, and I very humbly offered that science fiction exploring transhumanism and editing what the human brain can recall and what it can't is definitely a science fiction idea. What that has to do with defining the genre, I'm not sure. However, I will say this. If you would like to engage with me about what you believe science fiction is and what I believe science fiction is, and you would like to lock horns over that, I suggest that you meet me at Clobby's Clubhouse. And I suggest that you come well armed, and we will discuss it there. For now, we're just discussing Star Trek. And so I think you found yourself in an argument that I A, did not make, and B, would never even bring up here. So let's move along. Let's move along home.
Yeah, well, but thank you. Thank you so much, Cardi. Appreciate that. And let's see here. Sorry, get to the next one here. Let's see. Okay, let's get to my next review here. Sorry, I was having a bit of a let's see here. C+ from Anti-Derivative Jill, our communications officer. She says, glad Cisco kept them in the brig overnight. Starfleet officers shouldn't physically be fighting over political disagreements. Civil intellectual arguments would be better. Well, I just can't. I think my biggest thing about it, Jill, was I know Worf's friends with them, and he was still Klingons. When they get in fights, they don't play around. So if that was like a real fight with his two good buddies, it must have been pretty tough on Worf to let go easy on him.
Yeah, that's weird.
That would have been some trouble. I mean, I don't know. I don't like the whole scene where they're, it was just silly. I think done for like silly comedic value to have them get in a fight with Worf of all people.
I mean, he doesn't even get inebriated. Like, even
No.
it's only when someone shows up who is of great importance does he imbibe, does he partake. The rest of the time, he's prune juice central. So, what would be the impetus for this violent altercation with someone who he's been serving aboard a starship with for forever and a day? It's just dumb. It was like it was thrown in, and it's conduct unbecoming. Not only is it conduct unbecoming an officer, but it's conduct unbecoming of Worf. This isn't some sort of cultural thing where he has to, color outside of the lines. This is just regular everyday going into Quarks to get a prune juice thing. So I agree with Jill. I think it's dumb. Dumb.
Yep, dumb. Dummy dumb dumb. Anyway, let us continue, my friends. Jill says, while Ferengi will take advantage of each other, I would think by now Ferengi would have secured their rights and recourses to make grievances when it comes to exchange of labor. Yeah, that's actually a good point as well. That's a good point as well. You think that this had been something that had been dealt with in Ferengi society? They claim to, but I mean, Anyway, let's see. Where was I? Did I Okay. Oh, I thought I saw some other ones. All right, those just from before. I already read those. Sorry, I got a little behind there. Hang on. JT Kirk says 4 paid sick days, sick leaves per annum.
Yeah.
Out of 10. An insensational. What's that word? An insensation. Insatiate. Okay. Well, insensatiate way of. I don't know if I've seen that word, to be honest. Way to get Worf on the Defiant. Rom as a maintenance technician and Lita kissing Rom. Worf, Bashir, O'Brien. Why did they fight again? I don't know. I don't know, buddy. You got me, dude. I don't know why
some guy
anything happened
walked
in
up
that
to me
episode.
and he's like, I have an ear infection because I've been pleasuring myself. Would you like to do it for me instead? I definitely wouldn't kiss him. That would not be my first thing that I would think of doing.
I'm sorry, Jill. I thought you had 2. I didn't know you had a third one there. I apologize. Let's see. So I'm sorry. I thought you had 2 there. I don't know if I like the FCA just being goons without an actual type of civilized trial would really be the way Ferengi would go.
Agreed.
But that was good ending for Rom joining engineering. Yeah, that was. I was fine. I like Rom. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. Michael Beacom. First of all, I'm going to do this one. Comic Crusader says rating meh. I'm just commenting was okay, borderline cringe with Rom, not Space Knight material. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
When I think Rom, I just think Rom Space Knight always. Comic Relief Crusader, but that's just how I roll. Michael Beacom, did I finish his? I did. Okay, I just didn't unstar them. Sorry. Yep. Okay. All right. Shooter says B-. Another fun Ferengi episode. So the Ferengi Commerce Authority enforces bad business practices by Ferengi businessmen. Explain some of the reason they are the way they are. Yeah. There is political messaging here, which I ignored as best I could. Yeah, I hear you. B story of Worf being pissed off about a thief, just filler, but Odo recounting security incidences on the Enterprise was fun. Oh, there's another one. For people from a moneyless society, Julian and Miles seem to know a lot about unions. Okay, Miles may have a family history, but still a valid point. I think Lita likes this version of Rom. She does. Yeah, she does, even though at that point she's with Julian, right? Raymond Feliciano says, D, this is poor filler. I hear you, sir. Mr. Angel says, C+. A Ferengi saying union, Ferengi society, heresy, pitchforks out. Quark begging, please, just stop it. Rom Quark's bribe reflex in every crisis. Overall, I amused myself. Some of the scenes rolling on the floor and laughing. Thank you so much, sir. Wendy and Jimmy. Trauma Warriors extraordinaire, say D. My absolute disdain for the previous episode made this episode almost bearable. It wasn't worth using toothpicks to keep my eyes open. Love it. Love it, Wendy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Kal-El, buddy, he says A+.
Oh, wow.
This was an outstanding episode, highlighting just how far the Ferengi will go in order to maintain the status quo of their capitalistic culture. We see Rom, with some external encouragement, begin to become his own person, and not just someone who Quark feels he needs to look after. It's not only the formation of the Union that proves this, but how Rom sticks. What? Oh, wait a minute. That's
You okay, honey?
Hmm.
What's the matter,
I've
darling?
got that. I'm looking for number 3 and 4 for Steven.
Should be there.
Huh?
Just getting Mark right now. Let me go back. Chat's dumping all over the place tonight, so it might have vaporized him.
Huh.
Let me go check, boss.
Okay, well, his number 2 was at. No, it might have vaporized him because his number 2 was at 11:17, and his number 5, which I almost read, was at 11:17.
Yes, I'm seeing the same thing here. And you have 4 at 10:17?
I have 1 and 2, and then I have 5 and 6. And they're all at 11:17. So I don't have 3 and 4 of his.
Okay.
They're probably gone, huh?
Nope. They're there, boss.
Oh, you
Go
got 'em?
look. Yeah. Go to the live tab and then go to the start tab.
No, I got you. I'll just go to the store. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you go. All right. Well, there you go. Thanks. To his principles, not budging until all of the employees get sticking to his sticking to his principles. Not budging until the employees get what they want, even refusing to take the easy and selfish way out by accepting a bribe. Brunt is delightfully malicious. Jeffrey Combs is always great.
He's wonderful.
In this episode, and his solution to try and end the Union is hardly surprising and well within the character's modus operandi. Rom's new job aboard the station at the end really shows how. Oh, let me go back up.
I have to interrupt for 3 wags of a dog's tail. Keep going, but I just want to say good night to Raymond and Sandra Feliciano. They've just tagged
Raymond
us
and
and
Sandra.
said good night, everyone. Good night, Felicianos.
Good night,
King
everybody.
Dolphin TV.
Good night, Raymond. Good night, Sandra. Far the character has really come in his development and is a welcome change since it changes the nature of the relationship between the two brothers. An excellent Ferengi-centric episode. Overall, and definitely worth a watch for any fan of the series. Well, there you go. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate you. Now let me see. Got to get to our next one here. We're getting through them, folks. Getting through them here. Pleasant Valley Picker says 2 ratings. A+ for Lita. She is perfection. Sweet as honey and totally beautiful. My real rating with the Union stuff, C. An okay Ferengi episode. Nice Rom character building. All right. Appreciate you, Pleasant Valley. Catman says, Clobby, I gave it a D. Thought this was the worst episode of what has been covered. Wow.
Yep.
They should have burned this episode, so to speak. Wow. There you go. Max Redstone says, D. The oppression of Ferengi labor practices could have been a really fascinating episode. Instead, it's raining schlock and ham. Is there any hero from Irish culture that Miles isn't descended from? Good one. Fanty says it shows while Nog was a tough negotiator, he didn't have a real grasp on economics, though. With his leaving, Quark probably relocated his pay to the others, keeping the status quo. Says Fanty. Sean Carter says, I give it a C. Ferengi stuff was always fun. And though they had to get Rom out of the bar for character purposes, the vehicle chosen to do that was pretty silly.
Yeah, well
Gotcha.
said. Well said,
Indeed.
Sean.
Thank you, Sean, for that. Wolfie says, rating B. I want whatever Rom uses for his ear infections when I get one. Seems like it works.
Moogie.
Cardinal Sin says, Gil says, he was tagging Countless Crusader.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to rebut her point in a previous review that there's no room for relationship or sex in science fiction. It's just not true. I love Raquel to death. Yeah, I mean, no, it's just.
Okay,
I don't think you
Cardi.
said. I don't think you said it doesn't belong, did you? You
No,
just said you don't
no.
like it.
Well, first you brought up the God in the Machine thing. So I addressed your comment with regards to God in the Machine. As far as whether or not I believe that romance or sex and sexuality can be in science fiction, that's patently false. I've never made that assertion. What I have said is that I gravitate toward my own personal taste is things like the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. I gravitate more toward the kind of romance that is included in science fiction in the way in which Gene Roddenberry depicted it. I think it's a part of life, but I don't want to be a part of the nitty gritty details. And when it leaves the science fiction genre and turns into the romance genre, I get turned off. The centrifugal thing, the not centrifugal, the nucleus of science fiction is this idea that we get to deal with all of our anxieties and all of our conceptualizations about what the future holds. So futurism, we get to deal with our anxieties and our fears about technology and technological advances and medical advances. And we get to deal with our anxieties and our hopes and our dreams and our aspirations for what's going to happen when we reach out into the universe and go to different planets, and the possibility that we may not be alone in the universe. And that is the nucleus, the heart of science fiction. But what lies beyond that is extremely contentious in the science fiction community. And so for me, I like to stay as tight and as close to the nucleus as possible. I like to stay very true to the genre specific margins of what defines a basic science fiction. And yes, most certainly it can go off even into sociology with people defending it becoming a partisan device and all of these other things. That's fine and good. But I've never made the assertion that there shouldn't be any type of love or romance or attraction in science fiction. It's this, I don't want it to be the central point of the exercise. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the love boat crap.
Thanks again for another super chat, Gil. He says it was a private conversation, not a super chat. I didn't mean to slow things down. Don't worry about that, dude. Like I say, you couldn't have known, but we told you. You're good. Any further or raise your eye, Raquel? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you haven't raised my ire, honey. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're friends here. You can say things to us whether we agree or not, and if we answer back and argue back or whatever, doesn't mean any ires raised at you, buddy.
Yeah, but, not at all.
Raquel,
sweetheart.
she likes when everything. She's just the kind of when she says something. If she thinks someone takes something the way she didn't mean it, she likes to set the record straight like everybody does. So it's cool, but that's no problem. And you didn't slow anything down, man. Anything slowed down here, it's my fault. No one else's. Always, I'm the captain. I'm responsible for it. But Cardi, I thank you for your.
Sorry to interrupt you, boss. And for the record, just while the boss is bringing it up, we're only at the 2.5 hour mark, so we're making great time. Yeah. And thank you so much for your generous donations to this show, to this channel. I think you are a superstar. You're a sweetheart. And anytime you want to lock horns, we can do that. Don't worry, it's not going to ruin our friendship.
There, brother. Appreciate you. It's all coming from friends, buddy. So you're good. What? Sorry, my StreamYard just there it is. And thanks again, Gail. Don't worry about it. I never have to say you're sorry around here, dude. Don't make me come over there, boy.
Yeah, that's right, Cardi.
I've got 0. I'm good, says Larry.
Larry.
Wow, is that a rating or a?
I wasn't sure, but it was going up.
Larry gave it a 0. All right. Well, our final review by the great Tomato D with a C, our chief engineer says he says C-. Another sci-fi adjacent show. Out of the bar was priceless. Family Medical Leave Act was passed in the U.S. a few years earlier, so I think this was on the writers' minds, which led to heavy-handed political messaging. Yeah, they tend to do that even back then on Trek. Rom has a nice scene at the end when he finally breaks free from Quark's shadow. As a sitcom, not a bad episode, but maybe we'll get some sci-fi soon. Well, I wouldn't count on it for you. But so are we ready? Oh, there you go. So there you go again. There. So glad to hear that. Well, hey, Cardinal, thank you for that. I really appreciate that, buddy. You don't worry about it ever, man.
You are my friend.
We're always friends
cutie
here.
Patootie.
And don't make me come over there.
Yeah. No. Don't worry about it, honey. Yeah. Let's just.
Well, to me, you're not as cute. You're not that cute to me, Cardi. But just saying.
Okay, let's go.
I gotta mess with it a little bit.
Well, yeah, Cardi. I mean, it's a part of being around here, Cardi,
right? Especially when you do Christopher Walken. Yeah. All right, next episode is our final episode for the evening, folks, is a session. Assessing. That's a song, isn't it? Isn't it a song? No,
I don't know.
Sorry, that's Obsession.
But it sounds like you're going to turn it into like a heavy metal, like thrash song. I like it. A session.
Thinking some Elvis.
Okay. A session. Okay, season 4. Episode 17. This is prod code 489. And we all watched this for the very first time on February 26, 1996. So now we're going to dig into the quote unquote plot as described in Wikipedia. Here we go. An archaic Bajoran spaceship emerges from the wormhole. Its passenger, Akoram Lon, is a revered Bajoran poet who disappeared 200 years ago. Akoram claims to have been chosen by the prophets as their emissary. I'm sorry about the snow moving outside. I do live in the polar north. Sorry.
It's okay.
A role thought to belong to Captain Sisko. Sisko, who never felt comfortable being the Bajoran messiah figure, cedes the title without resistance. Akoram believes the prophets brought him back to restore Bajor's traditional caste or caste system, which was abandoned during the 50-year Cardassian occupation of Bajor. Portia, a Bajoran priest who supports Akoram, tells Major Kira that she must resign her military commission and become an artist, which was her family's traditional profession under the caste or caste system. Sisko warns Akoram that the caste or caste-based discrimination is banned by the Federation and thus would disqualify Bajor from Federation membership, but Akoram is adamant. Sisko has a dream where Kai Opaka, a former spiritual leader of Bajor, tells him, a former spiritual leader of Bajor? Why would they say that? Yeah, that's a dumb way of describing her. And she's still alive. Tells him that he has lost sight of who he is. Dr. Bashir believes that Sisko has experienced an orb shadow, a type of hallucination that Bajorans believe are reminders from the prophets to people who ignore the prophet's will. Portia murders a fellow priest whose caste or caste is considered spiritually unclean. Cisco realizes that Akorum's influence will be bad for Bajor's future and challenges him for the role of emissary. They decide that the only way to settle the matter is to go to the wormhole and ask the prophets themselves what they want. The prophets tell them that Cisco is in fact their emissary of Bajor, and that they brought Akorum to the present for Cisco's benefit. Akorum is sent back to his own era with no memory of what happened to him in the future. Cisco is once again recognized as the emissary by the Bajorans. This time he accepts the role happily. Now he appreciates the positive influence he has on Bajorans. Major Kira notices that Akorum's famously incomplete epic poem, The Call to the Prophets, now exists in its entirety, suggesting that Akorum was able to complete his masterwork after returning to the past. As a side plot, Keiko O'Brien, Miles, and her daughter Molly return from a trip to Bajor, that should be from Bajor. Miles is glad to have his family back at the station, but he misses his free time he got to spend with his friend Bashir. She's also pregnant. She's also preggers. And that is all Wikipedia has to say about Poseidon. What did you think of the episode, boss?
Oh boy, some little timey-wimey stuff there, right?
Yeah, where is Captain Finity? Captain Finity, where are you,
Captain
honey?
Finity? Tony Stark, hey, good to see you, buddy. Tony Stark makes you feel.
Tony Stark
makes you feel was a cool exec with a heart of steel. Oh man, what a bunch of episodes. This one, I don't know. There's some interest to the story. I'm not big into the whole Bajoran religion stuff or all the stuff with the prophets. Never is particularly interesting to me. There's some nice dramatic moments about Picard. Again, I guess in a sense it's kind of a Star Trek type of a feel in the sense that it's an alien, meaning Cisco, being put up as this religious figure to this whole society and stuff like that. That kind of philosophical questions, those types of things are interesting as Star Trek type bits. It's just not really my bag all that much. I don't find it a particularly compelling episode. I just kind of wander through it. And again, I've been that way with a lot of the episodes, and I'm sorry, folks. And this is really not politics and all that kind of stuff they do with this religion stuff on DS9 are really not the kind of thing I get into, if you see what I'm saying.
And once again, we're not saying that it's not science fiction. It's that we're saying that the further you move away from science fiction and the more you incorporate these other genres, the more diluted the science fiction becomes. I want to make that clear. So there's no more misunderstandings, like we see here with the comment from Mark D with the C. So politics last episode and religion and the cast or case system in this one. Scorecard, sci-fi 0, things I don't want on Trek 2. And I totally agree, Mark. I agree.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
So notes.
Keiko is back.
Yay, the highlight of the episode. Yay, Keiko.
Yeah, and I want a DNA test. I do. Can I have a DNA test, please? I think Miles should be asking for a DNA test. Who's your daddy?
Yeah, who you been messing around with on Bajor?
You are not the father. Isn't that like an American thing on that Maury show or whatever? You are not the father. Some religious stuff. A prophet Messiah returns. These are 2 stories that I have 0 interest in. These are my actual notes. Notice how close they are to Clobby and Mark. This is why we're like all close friends in real life. Some stuff about how a caste system is God's will. People are born with jobs. They're now leaving the Federation. There's no opportunity to choose your own education, your own job, where you live, who you marry. Imagine being born into a caste where you are not allowed to even attend school, you or learn to paint or write stories or even garden or vote or teach, dictating where you live, how much money you're allowed to make. It's really getting into it here. Where you sit on a bus, where you sit in a restaurant, all of that is being discussed in this episode. And it's absolutely preposterous. And I wrote here, preposterous storyline. They'll be overrun by Cardis and Klingons because the entire society would be thrown into complete chaos as people, regressed into into the caste system. This implies also too that I don't like about this, and like I said, I'm an agnostic, which means I choose not to profess to know that which is unknowable, and I'm very much like-minded with Socrates on that. But I do have to say that as somebody who teaches social science, that I don't like the implication that religion is regressive. And that's definitely being done here. And I think it's unfair because I don't think it's handled in a way where there's a Socratic dialectic where you have lots of opinions and you get down to the meat of it and you start discussing it. I think it's cheap and cowardly.
Yep.
I also think that the timeline and the time travel stuff, the guy is sent back 200 years. He's a super famous person, but this has not affected Bajoran culture at all. And now we're in the present. And this happened via the wormhole aliens. Now, people were bringing up the Latin. I hate pronouncing Latin because it sounds stupid to me, but and it's a dead language that fewer than 10,000 people in the world even speak or read. But the Deus or Deus or whatever, however you say it, ek machina, machine, God in the machine. If you want to talk about God in the machine, gee, it's definitely here. The wormhole aliens
prophets.
made it so
Yeah.
that the guy could go back, this super famous poet could go back 200 years and complete his vision and have this massive effect on Bajoran society. But the wormhole aliens, Kira says, and Cisco say at the end, fixed it so that the timeline of what happened to the Bajorans is not affected at all. If you want to start throwing around literary terms, this is the time that literary term works, the God in the machine, because and it's definitely evident here. Not when somebody's getting their mind wiped through technology that we're actually going to have to face in the future, but God's actually sending people back in time. The timeline's not affected, and they somehow tweaked that for every single society and all of the people who interacted with every Bajoran and the entire history and culture of an entire planet of people for 200 years didn't change.
Real Wade Nation, hello there, welcome.
Hello.
Good to see you. Yeah, so there you go. So what is your rating of Accession?
Accession is, I originally gave it a D-, but I'm gonna erase that. You hear me erasing that? I'm erasing the D-, and I'm changing it to an F.
Wow.
Because I had a glass of wine when I finished this episode. I was being way too nice to it.
Oh my
this
goodness.
is complete and utter shite, and I'm going to call it shite. F.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with a D, just with a D that I already had. I mean, again, there's certainly episodes I hate far more. For me to give it any lower, it would mean it had to really, really aggravate me. This is just kind of bores me. In fact, I probably should play D+ or something like that to put a plus, because there are episodes I really do hate more than this. But I don't really like it much. It's just blasé. Hate to keep using the word filler, but hey, and I'm not interested in some of the stuff. So let's go quick here, and I'll ask our wonderful chat to give us your rating of Accession and any words you may have on it. And while Raquel is gathering those, I shall bring us some Max Redstone entertainment from the great lyricist Max Redstone. Okay,
And
so
that
here,
and O'Brien needs to go on that American show where they have the envelopes, the Maury Povich show. O'Brien needs Maury Povich. He needs some
yes,
mopo.
yeah, he does, doesn't he? All right. Uh, all right. Okay, so the Great Max Redstone, folks, there's limits for our final episode of the evening is a session, and this goes like this. Double the emissary is not double the fun. The new guy wants to change how things are run. All Bashorans in their cast from 200 years in the past until Cisco takes a quorum to the prophets for a meditation. Wow. Nice one. Well, again, Max Redstone, dude, you're knocking them out of the park there, brother. Appreciate you so much. Fine work. I hope you all enjoy those as much as I do. Just great, great stuff. JT Kirk says, F plus. Do not, I repeat, do not tell your baby's daddy you are months pregnant like this, ladies. It is a huge Keiko move to him. How sheepish are the Bajoran people? They just up in all of society. Let's see. He's got another one. Says he's got another one.
I just started. He just put it up.
Okay.
He doesn't paste his.
Gotcha.
He writes his like on the fly, so it takes a minute for him.
Gotcha. No problem. Then drop it just as quickly. Please, what a joke. Please, what a joke. A better episode would be an intense debate between Cisco and the other guy on who has the better claim, and dump the cast topic entirely. Roger Wilco, buddy. Thank you so much, JT. Mr. Angel says, I am so confused right now. Tonight's fight, the Battle of the Prophets. Let's get ready to rumble. What? Keiko, it's all yours, Miles. I mean, it's yours, Miles. Oh, Miles. I can't do it like you do. Sure, honey. Sorry.
Miles, the baby's yours.
Well, there's ever a question?
You are not the father.
Damn, Comic Crusader says D- because D-. Well, that's a good reason. Thank you. Well, he knocked that one out. The great Stephen M. Kal-El, buddy, says, A. This episode did a great job of providing even more background into the Bajoran religious belief system and demonstrated the power of the influence of prophecy and the ability of an entire society to make sudden changes based on faith. While the quorum's initial claim to the title of emissary brought relief to not only Cisco but Starfleet Command, it ultimately undermined Cisco's overall mission, as well as Bajoran society, due to the many changes asked of the Bajorans. The implementation of the Dejaras and its harmful effects on the progress that the Bajorans have made. Hang on, Stephen. Over the years clearly shows that some practices, however well-intentioned they may have been at one point, are best left in the past. The resolution to the story's actual as well as the potential conflict between Cisco and Akorum in terms of a power struggle for the title of emissary was thankfully avoided thanks to what the Bajorans would consider divine intervention. Let's see. This episode was a good example of how deep-rooted beliefs of any sort, while having their place in society, should be balanced with true progress for the aforementioned society as a whole. Well, thank you so much. Always very well done, Kal-El, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Shooter says C. Let's see. She's back, Keiko, with a bun in the oven. Oh my! I'm not gonna do the old Miles. I'll let you.
Oh,
There you go. Someone is pregnant for real. The callback to Worf delivering Molly is hilarious. Not bad for a B story. Yeah, let's see. Hang on, shoot. This one revisits the prophets and implies that they did choose Cisco rather than him being a random encounter, rather than him being a random encounter. An interesting look at Cisco. Cisco takes a step to accepting being the emissary. Taking a step, I think he means being the emissary. Let's see. Cisco mentions the the Marquis. I think it means the Maquis. The Maquis there. Are they still a thing? The lightship design returns briefly is a nice touch. The civilization returning to an outdated caste system is an interesting story. Thank you so much, Shooter. Hang on there.
Boss man,
Yes.
JT Kirk sent you a gift.
Okay, I'll be right there. Let me get these things cleared up. I'm on my way, JT. Let's fix some chat stuff here. Get some stuff unstarred. And then I'll be right there. Hang on.
He actually
So
put
sorry.
it up at the exact same time as Chris Persia said the exact same thing. And so it's like they were both of one mind here. So I'll just, before you read that out, I'll just read this. Well, we've seen that Julian has no qualms about altering a person's DNA. So even if the baby isn't O'Brien's, with a little tinkering, it could be. And at the exact same time,
Wow.
JT Kirk sent what you are about to read, boss.
Thank you for that, JT Kirk. I appreciate you. He says, on the next episode, Keiko visits the infirmary so Bashir can alter the DNA of the baby, and it will appear that Miles is the father.
Miles, you are the father.
Well done. Well done, sir. Pleasant Valley Picker says, F. The religious stuff in DS9 was generally cringeworthy. As well, add Keiko to the mix. Pass me the melon baller, please. There you go. I hear you, sir. Let's see here. Michael Beacom says, C. This app feels like they remembered that they had forgotten about the emissary thing and they had to do a show about it. Then the return of Keiko, which Miles greets like he's been grounded. It's a good pun as well.
Well, bun in the oven
everyone,
after only one bumping of the uglies, and she lives on a different planet than him, and he's not allowed to do anything, and he had to take his office out of his bedroom where he was enjoying himself, doing cool things, building things, engineering, doing the engineering stuff. Just saying.
And everyone be honest. She's been gone a year. Babies take 9 months. Who really thinks Miles is the father? Wow. The positive note is Richard Libertini. Always good to see him, but otherwise, man, yeah, he is a great actor.
I love Michael Beacom. I love the Beacoms. I love Cassandra, and I love Michael Beacom.
Tony Stark says raspberry spam. That's a okay. That's it. That's you reviewed it for him. There you go. So, Sibley Steve says F. It was an act session. And Keiko's return was not really welcome to knowing how badly she treated O'Brien. Miles, you are not the father. Oh my goodness. Catman says, Clobby, I agree 100% with what you and Raquel have said about this episode. Couldn't have put it any better. Thank you both for these streams, etc. Well, thank you for being here, Catman. We appreciate you so much.
Yep.
PVC says, most about Bigger says, OMG, Harvey is the father. Okay.
I thought Harvey Cthulhu, he's talking about Doomcock. Just imagine, I thought that was a very cute comment. So just imagine that Harvey Cthulhu's baby comes out of Keiko.
Oh my. Don't tell Doomcock. He'll think he pushed the button.
Yeah, I would definitely push the button.
Phantom Outsider says F the Federation. Maybe F the Federation? That's a little harsh. Oh, you mean F is your rating. Sorry. The Federation is still okay with advanced wormhole aliens influencing a fairly technologically advanced race. The Keiko pregnancy was a plot device to cover the Nana visitor pregnancy. Okay, wow. Weird. Gotcha. Max Redstone says F, 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 a lot of F's. The Miles O'Brien, the O Miles passion that was so obviously flowing from that kiss. Anyone else thinking Keiko's baby isn't a direct descendant of King Brian Boru, Union leaders Sean Aloysius O'Brien? Well,
So funny.
Tonight on DS9, another emissary shows up, and he believes in the hierarchical bigotry of a caste system,
Yeah.
and somehow the Bajorans are willing to comply without question. Yeah, that was
Weird.
I'm with you, Max. Technically, I love the empty promenade dream sequence. If only two really admire the detail that went into the set. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Thank you so much, Max. Well done, of course. Oh, that's number 4. Great. Keiko's, aka Mrs. O Miles, takes yet another opportunity to be a walking iceberg, and now it's pouring all over Molly. Yeah, Molly treats him like crap too.
Yeah, I like that Max touched upon that because like what like her not wanting to color with her dad or engage with her father in play when her dad is down on her level, making eye contact with her, and she hasn't seen her dad in a long time. I've spoken before about how a lot of academics cite this relationship as something that's super realistic, and it's something that they support, and so on and so forth. I'm an academic, and I definitely don't support this. I think the fact that they leave all of these things unsaid and they just show it but never deal with it or do anything about it, it's quite abusive of the Miles O'Brien character. It's oh so easy to fall into this trap of the disconnected father when he's working all the time, and here we have the mother going to another planet and living her entire life there. So I just think it's cheap and cowardly to get into that stuff and then abandon it, like you don't have to deal with it after you brought it up. So yeah.
Wolfie says C-. Shocking they remembered to use the Bajoran sail ship, walking away from Federation membership. That's a good idea, sarcasm meter. Whoa, this baby's off the charts. Yes, sir. Our wonderful communications officer, the anti-derivative Jill, says F. Wow, I've never seen you give it F. I don't think I have. This poli-sci drama's only science fiction is the time travel in the beginning and the last 10 minutes. For 50 minutes, the episode is very terrestrial rather than alien.
Love you, Jill.
Bashir on the holodeck with O'Brien is great, but Molly is innocent. But learning from Keiko to place family time on a low priority. Couldn't cataloging wait for a little bit?
That's right. Love you, Jill.
The best part of the episode is when Worf is traumatized from delivering Molly because it was nice to think of disaster, which was a good episode of Star Trek. Yes, it was. Yeah. We know he is the Cisco and that he will remain the emissary early on based on the presentation. This might have been fine as a 20-minute story.
Yep.
Yeah.
What a great review.
I hear you.
Love you, Jill. Very
well
nerdy.
Done, Jill. Thank you, Jill.
Love you, my fellow nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, JT Kirk, it is really hurtful. And the fact that they bring it up and then don't do anything about it means that they're okay with that. And that's not what Star Trek's supposed to do. Star Trek isn't supposed to, create open wounds and show how awful we can be and then just walk away from it like it's okay. That's not nice.
Michael Bingham says, do not read the companion page 320 where Bear snickers at Roddenberry's ideals of Improved Humans when he explains why they made Miles have a messy apartment. Ah. Wow.
Trash. Complete and utter trash. Let me just star mark
What a
for you
trash
here.
bag. Okay, go ahead. And this, I think we're up to our final review of the evening. Mark D with a C, the chief engineer, says D-. Please, no more time travel. Although in this case, at least it was initiated by the godlike prophets. Would have been more interesting if the Bajoran explorers who first landed on Cardassia had been brought to Deep Space Nine. The writers used Acorums to get Cisco to accept being an emissary, but his story is a nothing burger.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. At least Keiko was nice in this episode, sending Miles and Julian off to the holodeck so he doesn't have to spend time with her. Alan, if you don't play it, we are forming a union in the chat. So far be it for me to stand up against the union. As a matter of fact, I think I have it right here.
Also,
Yeah,
boss,
well, I believe that-
Larry. Also, boss, just so you know,
Yep.
sorry to interrupt. Larry has made a request that we make a raspberry emoji. That is an excellent
Oh.
suggestion. I will do that for you as soon as we have room. Will someone remind me to do that when we have room?
Sure.
You see, YouTube only allows us to have a certain amount of emojis, judging by how many people are subscribed to our channel and how many members we have. So as soon as there is room, I will definitely add a raspberry. That's a great suggestion, Larry. Larry, thank you so much, sweetheart. Did I lose the boss? Did I lose the boss?
Pop in that will. Pop in that will, Mark D. So that wraps it up for our reviews, folks. We've done it again. 4 more episodes. I can only say things will get better.
Oh, they
Things
want
will
a
get better, I
Zek one
promise. Next
as
week we have-
well. Yeah, they want a Zek
Oh, that'd
one
be cool,
as
yeah.
well. Shooter, I think that's a marvelous idea, because isn't the boss's impression of Zeki, isn't it spot on? It's so beautiful. So we'll do Zek. I'm just making a post-it note of it now, and a raspberry.
There's no profit in making one of Zek. Quack. Let's see here. So,
Love you guys.
yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
These are the episodes for next week, folks. And we have with us our chief engineers here.
Hey, good
Somewhere.
evening.
Let
Yeah, I'll do the chat.
Let
Yep,
yourself
yep.
in.
I just let
What
myself
is
in. The
uppy?
key to the kingdom. Oh,
Hey.
fun show tonight. Fun
Hey.
show. All good stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thanks.
Yeah, although some maybe not so good, so good episodes. But
Yeah,
we
the
always have-
episodes.
we always have fun.
You want to
Always have
talk about
fun, yeah.
reviews? You had some pretty high quality reviews tonight.
Yeah,
Mark
reviews are
D
great.
with a C.
Wow.
Yeah, chat is on fire. Yep. So yeah, I meant to mention you're typing the those sailing ships that those
The
the
sail
explorers
ship thingy.
sail ship. Yeah,
Like
that's
the
what I
light
meant to
ship
put in.
ship.
Light ships, yeah, those that would have been cool if that's what I thought when I first watched the episode again. Like, oh, that's going to be one of the explorers, coming back out of the wormhole, or they got stuck
Right.
somewhere. That would
Yeah.
have been interesting. So, but yeah, that was a not a good episode. And then when they delve into all the stuff, I mean, you can do that on Trek if you do it correctly, but just wasn't good, wasn't well done. And the only thing that saves the show, what saves it, I think, is how good these characters are and these actors. You still enjoy them and you have good moments, when when you
Absolutely.
have stuff like that. So that you can't fault in the set design and the special effects are so. It's I watched the upscaled version, which you can find on the interwebs in various places we won't mention, but it looks so much better.
Good night,
too.
Michael Beacom.
Michael
Right,
Beacom and
you're right.
Cassandra Beacom. Good evening, Beacums.
Good night,
We
everybody.
love,
Yeah, good night.
love you. Good night.
But you're right. You I don't know. I guess when you think of Deep Space Nine, you do think of it as a whole. It's like one big long saga, and that helps because breaking it into pieces breaks off a lot of extraneous pieces that are like, yeah, looking. If it's like a sculpture, you're taking a lot of pieces off and throwing it off of there. It's like he did. As far as individual episodes, it's less compelling. They're great episodes, sure, and I've liked a lot of them, and I like the show a lot.
Yeah,
but
no,
when I think of this format show, when you have it set up this way, then it needs to. The show is pretty much carried by characters and character interaction. I'm sorry, Babylon 5 is better. I mean, look at the character development of Jakar and Londo, and they're all great. Sheridan's great. I mean, Delenn, these characters. Sorry, but Zathras has a point. These are all great characters too. But man, I've rarely seen the brilliance of a character developed on a level like just the character of Jakar, for example, to name one. But anyway, no, it's fine.
We've certainly blown apart this crazy rumor that was started in the early filth years, where everyone said, these old school Trekkies, these 735ers, they never criticized their own Star Trek. They only criticized this Star Trek. And Clobby and I remember when I first met Clobby, I was like, that is 100% not true. Are they ever in for a shock when Clobby and I do a show together? Because we won't be holding back. And the boss calls it calling balls and strikes. And we've definitely done that here. But I find it fascinating because at the top of all this, you remember when we spoke about the fact that academic had done a discourse analysis and had gleaned all the information from discourse analysis, as well as he did a poll. I believe it's a he. I don't remember, but it's a he, I think. And he had also done a poll, and then he had also done a survey, like a proper survey. And then what he did was a meta-analysis. And this was published, I think, between 2014 and 2017, I believe. And he had said that the most popular, far and away, the most beloved Star Trek was DS9. And so
I keep hearing that.
Yeah, when we got here to this, I really thought that I was going to be received in a much different way than I am. And it's funny how when you get a room full of true 735ers together, how a very different conversation develops. So I'm just really proud of everyone for, like Clobby says, calling the balls and strikes and doing it fearlessly.
Yeah, you just got to give your opinion. And I think it was Wolfie who said the same thing I said to you the other night, and Raquel and Mike, was this sci-fi show in space where everyone knows your name, and he mentioned that in the chat tonight too.
It is.
There's a lot of cheer. Well, you got Quark's Bar, which was fantastic. A
lot of cheers.
In Vegas. So yeah, but that's what you love about Cheers, right? When everyone and that's when you love going to like your neighborhood restaurant, where like you can grab a burger and a beer, and everyone knows.
That's right.
Hey, Mark's here. Put the Rangers on. We don't want to have the Islanders on. That kind of place where and the actors, do a great job of that. And even Keiko tonight was that was kind of funny in the end too. And it's the writers who did the injustice to her character. And did they send her off? I think they sent her off in the book. I'm trying to remember, to save money. They just wrote her off just so she didn't appear in all the episodes, so they didn't have another character.
Well, I believe Paula had said through original source discovery, so through direct interview, that she was actually written out or off for periodically to enhance the relationship that they thought would benefit the show, which was the one going on between Bashir and O'Brien. And Offset, those two became mortal enemies. They were fighting they were at one another's throats constantly. So it's interesting.
Off air, right? Or
yeah. Anyway,
well, we got our good buddy Larry. Thank you so much, Larry, for the $5 super chat. Well, I want to hear the Gordon from Ian Clobby. If you would be so kind. Arena is top 10 episodes of old Star Trek. Hail, Clubby! Raquel and Mark, hail, chat! Thank you, Larry. I should be merciful on you now. Ouch.
So
Thank you.
beautiful.
Good
So
thing that's the end of
perfect.
the show.
I mean, thank God that he asked for that at the end of the show, because poor Clobby's voice is done now.
I'm sorry about that, but I will try to do better next time.
It's so perfect.
I don't know about all that.
No,
Thank you.
we love it. And your Zeki is amazing. As soon as, yeah, exactly, Larry, it shreds the Clobby's throat. As soon as we have room for those emojis, I will get them done. The Goran, Zeki, and Raspberry. I will get it
Ooh,
done
that'd be
as
good.
soon as we have room.
Oh yeah, don't we need more? You need more members
Members
before
or
you can
whatever.
add.
Yeah.
Before you can add
Got
emojis,
a
right?
big
That's
bunch
right.
of members now, though. So
Yep.
got
I
it.
haven't checked in a while though, too. So
Well,
like
I got a lot.
I need to go and check, because as soon as we have room, I'd like to fill that up, right? Because people love the custom emojis, and they turn the chat into great fun. And I also like how like they have those Waddy sex sticks, and and whenever they do the Waddy sticks, we play the Ala Moraine. People love it. Like it's like they're calling, like, you know, your agonizer, please. It's great. They enjoy it. They have so much fun.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'll tell you what. Any closing words for either one of you? Number one.
I just want to say thank you to all of the wrenches. I know the boss is going to call each one of you out and let you know how much we love you and care about you, but I want to say it personally as well. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting me behind the scenes, out on other social media. You know, I see D. Bud Martin sharing my book and crazy stuff like that. And Chris Persia is always trying to get people to read my book, to buy my book, to share my book. And Eric's doing it. Like, you guys are so good to me. I love you guys so much. Thank you for loving me and caring for me, and for just caring for this community and making this community truly the best it can be. It's this way because of your help, your care and consideration. I also want to thank everybody in the chat for your marvelous conversations this evening. Each one of you is so intelligent, delightful, and generous with your time and your ideas, and I adore you. So thank you so much. And I want to thank you, Captain. Thank you for creating this space for us, for the 735ers, so we have a place to talk about this wonderful thing, this wonderful Star Trek that we love so much. And of course, I want to thank our friend, Mark. Thank you so much for being here,
Well,
Mark.
thank you.
Everybody, make sure you follow Mark. He has lots of interesting stuff. He does great videos. He's a cool cat, smart fella, and he's also super kind and wonderful. And don't forget that I'm going to be on Raymond's show on Wednesday, the 18th at 5 p.m. Mountain. And don't forget that I have a Patreon, but don't feel any pressure to do the Patreon thing.
If you get us the link, we can put it in there. I didn't know about this.
I think Chris already.
Chris just put it in again.
Chris
Yep.
just put it up
thank you,
there.
Chris. Oh,
I feel weird even having the
No,
Patreon.
don't feel weird. Everyone, right now, go visit
No.
the Patreon, and if you can,
I need to get
if
that
you can,
for my
go. Support
No, go ahead.
Raquel only if you can. But
yeah,
absolutely.
just I feel weird asking, but
It's
I
not
love you all so
mandatory,
much, and
but
thank you.
we
Yeah.
won't airlock anyone, but we might.
No.
No, just kidding.
And that's all I have to say. Thank you for this time in this space, and thank you one and all. I can't believe that I have the honor and the pleasure of spending this time with you every Saturday night. I don't know why you all put up with me, but I love you very much. And Retro Nerd Girl just walks through the door.
Hey, Retro Nerd Girl. Oh, she just had her first
Hey!
live stream. It was only
Lovely
7
Retro
hours, though.
Nerd Girl, and
And
Yes,
Dave G
it
Sound.
yes, what was wrong with you? Good to see you both.
guys.
The Retro Nerd Girl, it's always a pleasure. And Dave G. Sal, good to see you, sir. Okay. Well, Mark, any closing words?
Oh, well, thank you for that, Raquel, and it was making me blush. Yeah. But yeah, everyone, Raquel's awesome, and go check out her Patreon or buy a short story if you can. for $1 or $2. You know what I do on Amazon? Sometimes I'll do the delayed shipping, and then they'll give you a digital credit for free, and then you can use that to buy. I usually buy ebooks that way. So that's
so smart.
another trick to, you know, when they ever say, "Would you like it next week? We'll give you $1." You know, digital credit. So when you know, so I get, when I buy an action figure, I get get a digital book for free. But yeah,
But
we'll
that
be having.
technique is very intelligent, you know, because people have tried to do that here in the chat and it hasn't worked. And I remember when you did that on Clubby's Clubhouse so that Larry could get it at the price that you had worked, you know, your magic. You had worked the algorithm and made it so that he could get it at a price he could afford. And I remember something happened with a Palamese minion where that happened with her as well. So the way that you are working that Amazon, everyone should sit up and take notice, because you're very intelligent, and wherever you can get a discount like that, it's just so smart. And yeah, maybe you should do like a little thing of that on your geekery and sort of show
That's a good
people how you
tip.
do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I could show that tomorrow night. Yeah, I don't know if you have to be a Prime member or not. I am a Prime member, but I know they offer that sometimes. It's not all the time, but they do offer the delayed publishing. The one thing you got to watch out for is, though, if it expires, like they always put an expiration date on it. So
Yeah.
you want to make sure you use it before then. But yeah, so we'll be doing Sunday Night Geekery tomorrow night, and we don't know what we'll be talking about, but we'll be talking about some fun
Yes,
geek
everyone.
stuff, and Mike usually is there, so it's always a good night. And then Tuesday I'll be on Toxic Tuesday. And I don't know if Nick, we're gonna have a very special guest, but I don't know if Nick has announced it. But we're gonna have one of the bigger streamers on the YouTubes on the channel. It sounds like, and we'll be doing Judge Dredd, the new Dredd, not the
I know who it is.
Yeah, you might know who it is, but I don't want to say it because I don't know if Nick has announced it. So
don't do it. Don't do it. But I like that you did that anyway, though, because now it's more intriguing. Now it's a mystery. So show up and find out, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So that's Tuesday night, Toxic Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, and then of course the Clubhouse next week. And I did have a new quick video tonight on the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So check that out. I'll
get on over there and look at it. Hit the like button for sure.
And I just 3D printed some new bases for the phasers that I got, so I got to do the review of that, show how to do that, and then the review of the Playmates phaser. Trying to get to that. Hopefully get to it tomorrow. But last words are go Giants. Giants are playing tomorrow. So.
Yeah, go Giants.
Go Giants.
That's crazy. Yeah. And congrats, Jags there. So
JT Kirk says if we run out of things to talk about, we can have a chat about Linux distros. I actually was just during the show, I have a computer that's not working. I was making a USB Ubuntu boot drive on I'm sorry, Mike, this is computer geek talk. This is inside geek talk. So yeah, that's see, geeks and nerds unite. Yep. All right.
Let's hear show notes before we get out of here. Of course, Monday night, a big double feature. I'll be hanging with Mark at the Geekery tomorrow night. I hope, if I'm still invited.
You're always invited. Yep.
And,
goodness, yes.
That's what he says. 10 p.m. Central. 10 p.m. Eastern. Everybody,
Eastern. Yep.
Join us at Mark's Sunday Night Geekery. Just don't join us hungry, because you'll be hungry by the time we leave out there, because he's going to talk about food probably. So, a double feature Monday night on Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk. We have a special edition with the great J-Men, who'll join me at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time as we visit Earth B, as in Bob Haney, a wacky world of Bob Haney presentation, a Clobby's Classic Comics review, Brave and the Bold number 100. J-Men joins me to review. We've reviewed a couple of Bob Haney comics. They are wacky. The wackiness, I can't do justice. You'll just have to see. So, thank you all. And of course, the regular stuff I should be on all the regular shows that I'm on. Midnight's Edge on Tuesdays and Thursday nights with the great Tom and that gang there, and Wednesday nights with Loki and the gang, the Loki and 24 and CC with the Comic Roundtable. And my shows Wednesday Wildcard Wednesday night, Thursday, the Clubhouse, of course, and then with Nick and the gang on the Comic Shop show on Friday night. Then, of course, next Saturday night, 4 more episodes here, right here, same
Dun, dun, dun,
Trek
dun.
time, same Clobby channel.
Hey, boss, did you see
Yes.
that lemon pie walk through the door?
I did not say that. Hello
Yeah.
there, lemon pie.
Lemon pie's here.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
And I love
So
that
now-
JT Kirk is calling for the arch. Computer, arch.
Arch indeed. So
You know, I
here we
just
go
thought of
now
French
with-
fries. Again, hungry. When you said, oh,
time for our
sorry.
shout out goodbyes, because we like to get you all shouted out. I've got let's see. Of course, I've shout out our wrenches first. The great Eric K, the bronze wrencher. The Vindicator wrencher of the North, the great Chris Persia. Whether they're here or not, they get the shout out, folks. D Bud Martin, the wrench of iron. The great god of wrenchers, Lord Thoth, and shout out to Lady Thoth. Avon lives and long live the Legion. Our official artist and of course cover artist of the great book Science Fiction Tales by Commander R.M. Briggs. Hungry Boy, the master of the Claboni. The Wrench Without Fear. J-Man, my partner in crime on Earth B, and can't wait to hang out with him again. Super Wrench, Cal L, our good friend Stephen M, the wielder of Wrench Mjolnir, the Vegas Thor of Vegas, Maddie's daddy, my great buddy Steve Mitchum, Phantom Outsider, the Phantom Wrencher. So with us here tonight, first of all, of course, Apollome's Minion and the Pupper are here. And let's see who else we got. Our wonderful communications officer, Anti-Derivative Jill, is here. Stuart Mitchell. Oh, wait. Hang on a second. I'm going to move. There we go. I'm sorry. My throat is still destroyed.
Sorry.
Stuart Mitchell.
The corn is tough.
Raymond Feliciano. And Sandra Feliciano, King Dolphin TV. Shooter 8323. Classic Comics. Everyone gets a shout out whether they're already gone or not. So we're doing that now. The great Max Redstone, and thank you, Max Redstone, for your great contributions. The entertainment officer of the Starship Clobby Prize. Snail Messiah. Let's see. Zachras. Mr. Angel. Good to see you, Chef. And of course, he is the master of the Clobbering Times of Discord, is he not?
Yes, he is. Yep.
He is.
Thank you for that, Mr. Angel. Yep.
Thank
I
you,
put the
Mr.
link
Angel.
up a few seconds ago.
Appreciate you. The Catman, aka D.D. Myers. Sean Carter. Thank you. It's nice to meet you, Sean Carter. I hope you'll hang out with us again sometime. Or I hope we see you next week. And of course, I got my other shows throughout the week. I don't know if you're in the comics or if you just Star Trek, but come see us. A good buddy, Gil Cardinal Sin. Thanks for all those contributions, man, and appreciate you, buddy. I hope you're having a great weekend. Wolfie, the great Wolfie, our good friend Wolfie. Tyrell 72. Always great to have you here, my friend. Thank you so much. The great Michael Beacom and the wonderful Cassandra. Hope you're doing well, Cassandra. The Comic Relief Crusader, Phantom Outsider. I already announced you, but I did you again just because I know you're needy that way. J.T. Kirk, Picasso, Victor Fontaine. Good to see you. Ghost Writer. Hey, thank you for being here with us. Wendy and Jimmy Trauma Warriors. Always great to have you here. Zacharat. Billy Go Boom, a new person I've never seen before. Thank you, Admiral Teague. Captain Infinity and Beyond. Simply Steve, always good to see you. Keely Chow, roll that tide. Tim's Talk on your left. Darius. Larry, my good friend, thank you so much. Always good to see you. Let's see. Daniel's Hot Topics. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Nice to meet you. James Caserta, Cavertino, Cavalman Shea, Dadman, the Dadman clan, my buddies. Good to see you. Pleasant Valley Picker, buddy. Thanks for being here. Mark Seth. Thank you. Monkey Jeebus. Thank you. Let's see. The Woke Breaker. Thank you for being here. Tony Stark. Heart of Steel. Good to see you. Real Wade Nation. Thank you for being here with us tonight. The lovely Retro Nerd Girl. Great to see you. And Dave G Sound. It's great to see you. And Lemon Pie. And that's our shout outs. I hope we got everybody. Appreciate you all. Please have a wonderful remainder of your weekend going into a great new week. So be seeing you and live long and prosper and clobber on, everybody. Thank you so much.
If you perceive Alamarin, you come with me.